in Mobile County in Alabama, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. What does that mean? You need to go to the lowest interior room of your house, and you want to be away from windows. You want to make sure that you get away from windows because especially if this does turn out to be a powerful tornado, that could fling debris through glass windows and eventually could hurt you on the inside. So again, you're going to want to also make sure that your skin is covered. You get blankets, towels, those are good. Put a bike helmet on, whatever you have available. If you are on the eastern end of this, if you're more towards the Alabama, Mississippi state line, you might have a little bit of time. Say if you live in a mobile home in Wilmer. Some of us who live in mobile homes in, say, the Wilmer area, now is the time to, if you can get within into a more sturdy structure within the next 10 minutes and you are certain about that and you live in Wilmer, you need to go ahead and do that. If you're in George County, it's too late. You're going to have to seek shelter where you can immediately because it's right on top of you. It's 63. But I'm talking to you folks out in northwestern Mobile County. If you are in a if you're in a mobile home, you have a little bit of time here where you can spare maybe 10 or 15 minutes before it gets to you. If you're out in some sort of really unsturdy structure, now is the time to go and find, if you know where that safe spot is, go for it. But at this point, if you're in south of Lucedale, if you're in the Vaughn area, Agricola, it's probably going to be too late at this point. All right, I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer here where we're seeing that rotation. I'll put back on our rotation detector here. It's generally in this area, Marshall, Smith Road, Ward, Vaughn, it's still to your southwest. I'm going to put back on our velocity map here. So you see that little green, the green coloring there meeting with the red. That is detecting some sort of circular motion there because that's the wind moving in different directions. And right now, it's over Wanley Road, Marshall, Smith Road. There's the latest scan. That's actually some good news. You can see how that went. You just saw it jump on screen right before your eyes, how that there's still, you know, you can still see those greens and those reds meeting. I'd like to see what our shear rate's saying for this. You can see it's kind of thinned out a little bit, which is some good news. So that latest scan, it appears that the rotation has weakened just a little bit, but it's still fairly weak. The warning is still active at this point, like I said, till 10:15. It would be somewhere in the place of Marshall Smith Road if this thing were to be on the ground, but it appears at this point that the rotation has weakened with that last scan. And this is going to continue to move east at 40 miles an hour. I'm going to go ahead, put the rain back on, which is what you're used to seeing. Of course, it is pouring just to the southeast of Lucedale, and you're probably going to get some gusty straight line winds out ahead of this. And we are also dealing, I'm going to mention this as well, since that rotation in George County has weakened, we do have a severe thunderstorm warning up until 10:15 that basically encompasses northern Baldwin County, northern Escambia County, also Conecuh County, and portions of Monroe County too, Frisco City, Monroeville in this warning as well. You can see there is frequent lightning over southwestern Monroe County. This is moving towards the southeast. I'm going to go ahead and loop this thing so you can see the general directions towards the east-southeast. So this line is it's heading for Mobile, it's heading for Baldwin County. I'll take some of the warnings off here so it's a little bit of a clearer picture. This line of storms has now cleared Washington and Greene County, and this is moving east. Right now, the thick of it is over George County, Mississippi, and in through parts of northern Mobile County, southern Monroe County, and Conecuh County. And this is going to continue to move east towards the northern part of Mobile County in particular is going to get the worst of it for more of our coastal areas. And then this is eventually going to move into parts of Baldwin County. It's moving pretty fast, too, at around 40 miles an hour. I'm going to go ahead and click pause here and put the warnings back up, see if there's any update. You can see till 10:15 is when that tornado warning will expire, is at 10:15. That's how late it will be up till. And we're going to continue with this until it expires because this is posing some danger to life right now. And this is moving towards Mobile County as well. So this has the potential to impact multiple people. You can see, multiple different counties is what I was saying. It's right over Agricola at this point, just to the southwest of Vaughn. I'm going to zoom in a little bit closer now. Again, this rotation has weakened. This is some good news. If there were to be a tornado on the ground, which it doesn't look too likely, unlikely at this point, considering that the rotation has weakened a bit. But it's enough so that the warning is going to continue. It is right to the west of Agricola. You can see there's Barton Agricola Road and Marshall Smith Road, where those two roads intersect. Right in that area is where this rotation would be, passing just to the south of Vaughan, and then eventually this is going to head towards Howell, and Wilmer is where this could potentially impact if that warning were to get extended. You can see this has been peeled back a little bit as this continues to move off towards the east. All right, I'm going to clear this off for you, throw another track on it, and see so you can see when this is going to end up in your neighborhood, going to the east at 40 miles an hour. Like I said, really anywhere in southeastern George County, you need to be seeking shelter at this point. That means going to the lowest interior room of your house, and also finding some objects to protect yourself. That could be a blanket, helmet, could also be any sort of jackets you find. I know a lot of people may not have basements. The basement is the best place to be away from windows, but if you don't have that, go to the lowest floor, and also make sure you are away from windows. All right, timing here, you can see right now it is in Agricola in Mississippi in George County. It's going to pass to near Waters Landing in about 4 minutes. In Wilmer, it'll be there in 13. The good news is this does show some signs of weakening as this is heading towards the east. We get a new update here from the National Weather Service. It appears that the tornado has been observed. Give me a second here. You can see that, look at the screen. You can see the timing of this right now as this approaches the Wilmer area. Again, this is in southeastern George County. But we have a new update from the National Weather Service. Give me a few seconds here as I read the update. Let's see here. We do have a report. The tornado is on the ground. Trying to see if who else. That's pretty much all the information there. Sorry for that brief pause, but the National Weather Service just came down with some more information. So a tornado was in fact observed in George County. So we have not just a radar indicated tornado, but this was observed, which doesn't surprise me at all because the rotation as of a few minutes ago was very strong. You can see that there is some weakening. Back when it was just to the south of Lucedale, you can see the greens and the reds where they're colliding there. That is an indication of some strong rotation. So we do have an observed tornado that has been reported to have been on the ground. Unfortunately, here you can see this latest scan, that brighter green right over Agricola. This is the latest scan of radar showing some re-intensification potentially of this tornado that was spotted on the ground. And this is again on Route 613 in southeastern George County. This is moving east towards Wilmer. So even though Wilmer, Lott, Semmes, you're not technically in the warning. You have a severe thunderstorm warning, but there's an area of rotation that is approaching Mobile County, so you all should be taking shelter right now if you can, because this is going to be in the area very soon. You can see this is a very small warning box. This goes until 10:15 for Agricola. It's going to be crossing the Alabama state line, though, probably within the next 10 minutes or so. If we go ahead, we can put the shear rate detector back on. A while ago, it seemed as though it was weakening, but now it has since re-intensified. You can see right here over Agricola, Nenna Road, if I'm pronouncing that correctly. There's New Hope Church Road, and then you have Route 613 is where this rotation is being detected. Again, a tornado was observed to be on the ground, so this is not just a radar-indicated tornado anymore. This was actually seen by someone on the ground that there was a tornado in George County, Mississippi, and this is heading towards Mobile County, Alabama. Like I said, right now it is along Route 613 in George County, Mississippi. We've got a new scan there. This continues to move towards Mobile County, move towards Wilmer. Wilmer, you are not officially under the warning. Semmes, you are not under the warning. Lott, you aren't either, but I would be cautious and right now go to your safe place, which would be the lowest interior room of your household, away from windows, and try to protect yourself with any sort of helmet, with any sort of, if you have like if you have like jackets or blankets, that's good to protect any sort of open skin, because there could be some flying debris with this tornado that was reported to be on the ground in George County, Mississippi, and it's moving east and it's going to pass just to the north of Big Creek Lake, or just right on that northern end. And we do have this will be extended into Mobile County, according to the National Weather Service. There has been confirmed extensive damage in George County, considerable damage across George County from the circulation, currently near Agricola, heading east to southeast, and this is going to be extended into Mobile County. You're not going to see it pop up on your screen just yet, but the National Weather Service says that they are drawing up a new warning for Mobile County on this, and let me tell you guys, this has been a confirmed tornado in George County, Mississippi. This is not just anything that's radar indicated. This has been reported to have extensive damage just to the south of Lucedale. You need to take this very seriously. This is moving east towards the Wilmer area, towards Semmes, northwestern Mobile County, in that area just to the north of Big Creek Lake is where you would be, where this thing is heading next. Right now, it is just to the east of Agricola. We can go back and take this full screen for those folks that are just tuning in right now to show you where that rotation is. Again, this has been confirmed to have extensive damage in George County, Mississippi, and this is moving east towards Wilmer. There's that new tornado warning. Right now, you can see it is in the southeastern portion of George County, just to the east of Agricola. I'm going to go ahead, zoom in right down to street level so you can see this. There's Will Howell Road. There's Howell, that is Howell, Mississippi. That is right on the Mississippi-Alabama state line right there. Walters Landing, just to your north, is where this tornado would be if this is still on the ground. This has been confirmed to have been on the ground, and extensive damage has been reported in George County, and this is headed for parts of Mobile County right now, the Wilmer area. This is until 10:45. There's that new warning, like I said, that was going to be issued for Mobile. So we have a tornado warning right now for Mobile County. Most of that portion, if you live anywhere along Highway 98, that includes Semmes, that includes Wilmer. Wilmer, you all are going to be in the line of sight of this thing very soon. I'm going to go ahead and throw a new track on the center of this storm. Okay, so this is a little bit easier for you all to visualize here. Here's our rotation detector. So where you see this maroon shading right there, that's where a radar is detecting strong rotation. I'm going to go ahead for you and put a track on this as this moves east. That southern area of rotation is the one that where we saw that confirmed tornado. This is moving towards the east at 40 miles an hour. It is going to be in Wilmer in 8 minutes. So I told you about 15 minutes ago, if you were in Wilmer and you were in a mobile home, you had time to go ahead and seek some shelter. At this point, it's a little bit too late. But if you're in Semmes, if you're in Lott or Semmes, if you are in, say, 8 Mile, you're out in northern parts, just to the north of downtown Mobile, you all have about 20 or 30 minutes if you're in an unsturdy structure and you know that you can get to a safer spot within the next 10 or 15 minutes or so. Go ahead and do that right now. This has been a confirmed tornado in George County, Mississippi, or there's confirmed to have at least been extensive damage. It was spotted on the ground by someone in George County. The rotation is just as strong now as it crosses the Alabama-Mississippi state line as it was then. And this is heading towards Wilmer within the next 7 minutes or so, about 5 to 10 minutes, give or take here. It's going to be in the Semmes area within the next 15 minutes, and it's going to continue to move east. The warning pretty much extends, I'm going to clear this off here so you can see. The warning now extends as far east as, northern portions of Midtown Mobile, Pritchard, We have Saraland now included in this, Satsuma, Fairview, Semmes, like I said, Wilmer are going to be impacted before, of course, these areas north of Mobile. Again, this is until 10:45. I'm going to put the rotation tracker back on here. You can see where we have this, this spot of green right here and red colliding. That's in Howell. That is now crossing the Mobile County, George County line. This is the Alabama-Mississippi border. Some of the roads here in this area, you have Finley Road, County Road 7, that is in Mobile County, and Grady Dunn Road West. Again, this is right on the George County, Mobile County line. This is heading right towards Wilmer. I'm going to leave the tornado warning graphic up here right now, along with what you're a little bit more used to seeing. You have the regular rain right there, or just regular radar. You can see it is coming down hard in northwestern portions of Mobile County and on the Mississippi-Alabama state line. The National Weather Service has some new information right now on this. Let's see, they just came out with some new information here. So give me just a second to see if there's if this is about that storm or if this is about another storm here. All right, it appears that this is just about that severe thunderstorm warning in other parts of the area. So like I said, we have this severe thunderstorm warning in addition to that tornado warning, which is right now in effect to the northwest of Mobile. You can see this is just a nasty looking storm. The southwestern edge right here in the Wilmer area is where that rotation has been detected, and it's going to continue to move east at 40 miles an hour. I'll just go ahead and read off some of the towns that are included in this. We have Saraland, Satsuma around the corner, Smithtown, Indian Hills, Charmingdale. Some of these are not official towns. These are just some neighborhoods that our radar software picks up. Fairview, of course, we got Semmes and Wilmer, which is not listed on here, but those are two big towns that are included in this warning as well. And if we put on our shear detector here, you can see where we have these deep reds right here. You have the legend in the top left-hand corner of your screen right here. This is, you see that maroon indicates strong rotation. This storm has been confirmed to have extensive damage. There's extensive damage in George County, Mississippi, and the tornado was spotted to be on the ground. So this is an observed tornado. We initially got a radar indicated tornado, which we are still getting rotation indicated from radar right now as this continues to move east. You can see over Worley. This is really just right in Wilmer. Fairview right there, right in the Wilmer area. There's Moffett up towards the northwest. So right now, the center of rotation would be right over Wilmer. There you can see downtown Wilmer, just right in the center of Wilmer, Wilmer Road and Moffett Road, that's Highway 98, where those two collide, is where we are picking up some potential rotation here. You can see where those reds and greens are meeting there. Let's go ahead and backtrack and see the evolution of this storm. You can see that where we have the brighter greens over Agricola right there. That's the left-hand side of your screen, the brighter green being the red right there. And now you can see it's kind of fizzles out a little bit. It shows some sign of weakening, but there appears to still be some rotation left of the storm as this continues to move towards the east. Again, there is Fairview, there's Lott, Semmes. You all are under this tornado warning, which has been reported to have extensive damage in George County, Mississippi. I'm going to go ahead and put back on just typical radar here. You can see it's raining hard in Wilmer right now. Lott, Semmes, it's yet to get to you at this point. It's mainly to the north of Highway 98 up towards Citronelle. Other parts of Mobile County, really the whole northern half of the county, we have a severe thunderstorm warning, not for, for gusty winds as well that can also cause damage in excess of 60 miles an hour. That's certainly a possibility out of this. So even if you are not in the tornado warning, the whole northern half of Mobile County is in a severe thunderstorm warning as well for wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour possible. That hasn't been confirmed, but the tornado has been confirmed in George County, Mississippi. There's been extensive damage reported out of George County, and this same storm right now is right over Wilmer and moving east across Mobile County, pretty much right down Highway 98, a little bit north of that, of course, but it's about to cross Highway 98, the center of rotation, and eventually move towards places like Saraland, just to the north of Pritchard, 8 Mile. So if you are anywhere to the north or to the west of Mobile, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. This tornado warning is in place until 10:45 a.m. For a good portion of Mobile County, goes from Wilmer all the way towards portions of Midtown Mobile, just the northern end of Midtown. Let's see, there's a new tornado warning that has been issued, let's see, for another part of this storm, just recently issued right now. So now we got actually 3 tornado warnings, 2 additional tornado warnings that have just been issued. This one is for Escambia County. We have 2 for Escambia County. This one also goes until 10:45. I'll give some attention to this one since I've just been focusing on the one in Mobile. So Wilmer to Saraland, that northwestern section of the Mobile suburbs, you need to be taking shelter right now. But now we also have a tornado warning in place for Escambia County, Alabama. In fact, we have 2 different tornado warnings, and the other one includes southern portions of Conecuh County in Alabama, just to the south of Evergreen, including Castleberry. You can see Bruton. You are just on the fringes of this right now. So I'm going to go ahead and turn on some velocity signatures here, so you can see this is basically the wind speed that we've been showing you all morning. In western Escambia County right now, you can see we have some radar indicated rotation right there by Jack Springs. You see where these green and red meet right there? That is telling me those are basically, you're getting used to us now. You've been watching me for probably the past half hour at this point, if you're just continuing with me. Where the green and red meet, that basically means that the wind is moving in 2 different directions. That's how we pick up on any sort of radar indicated rotation. Both of these storms, you can see that tornado warning. That's also for parts of Conecuh County and Escambia County. This includes just to the south of Lenox in Conecuh County, Barnett Crossings, Appleton, and Escambia County also included in that other tornado warning, which is also until 10:45. So we got 2 pairs of tornado warnings, and you can see where we are picking up on some of that rotation right now. So where you see these lighter greens here by Jack Springs and that other one just to the east of Huxford, this is where, if there were to be a tornado on the ground, unlike the one that was in George County, this one has not been confirmed yet, but there is some radar indicated rotation. These are where we would have a tornado because that is where that rotation is being picked up. You can see by Barnett Crossings just to your west, this is now about to cross I-65. Both of these are just to the northwest of I-65 and continuing to move towards the east at a pretty good clip. And right now, the National Weather Service has, let's see, they have a little bit more information. So both of these tornado warnings have been issued for Escambia County, Alabama. Both are moving east at approximately 45 to 55 miles an hour. Again, this includes a good portion of Escambia County, Alabama, pretty much the western portion of Escambia County. You need to be getting into your safe place at this point. Just to the north of Atmore, too, you can see the box right there, and edges into the western side of Bruton. Both of these warnings, the flashing red you see on the screen, includes Castleberry as well. These are until 10:45. So if you are in Escambia County or southern Conecuh County, this includes Lenox, James Mill, Castleberry. All those areas, you need to be seeking shelter immediately at this point. Try to get to that lowest interior room away from windows. And also, if you have the ability, if you're in a closet or something like that, you find some like bath towels or some jackets. Those are good protectors in case you get some flying debris that breaks through windows. And we're going to check back on this one in Mobile. This is affecting a little bit of a bigger population here. And turn on the velocity right now. It's kind of hard to pick up. We're getting very close to the radar at this point. which can kind of make it a little bit tricky when it comes to detecting rotation. But right now, it would be just in the Wilmer area still. Let's see if we can get our shear detector here. So right at the northern end of Big Creek Lake is where we are getting some strong indication of rotation here. You can see right again on that top left-hand corner of your screen where you have this maroon, that indicates that we are looking at strong rotation. This is in the Wilmer area of Mobile County. You can see Moffett Road right there to the south. So Millertown is right there. There's Lott. So Lott and Millertown, both of you all need to be heading into your basement, into your safe spot. You can see Jamaica Road is on the map right there. That neighborhood is where this rotation is heading towards. And right now it would be right over, let's see, these are pretty small for me to read. Glenwood Road and Glenwood Farms Lane West, Box Road. These are just some of the nearby roads. This has now crossed Moffett Road. So the center of this rotation right now is really on the southern end of the storm. So if I go ahead and put the radar back on, you can see that it's raining heavily just to the northeast of Wilmer. You can see Georgetown right there, Chinchula. You're getting in on some of the heavy rain. The area of concern, at least when it comes to rotation or potential tornado, is just to the south of there. So really on the southern end, just to the northeast of Big Creek Lake. And this tornado warning again is until 10:45, and it includes a good area from Midtown Mobile. Goes all the way from Midtown Mobile. It's probably going to pass just to the north of Midtown, but that is included at the edge of the box, all the way out towards Wilmer, and then north just to the south of Chinchula. You can see that is until 10:45. Just give me a second here. I'm gonna drink some water. It's hard for me to talk this straight. All right, sorry about that pause, guys. Anyway, tornado warning, 10:45 until 10:45 for a good portion of Mobile County. You can see right now the area of that storm that would be producing that tornado. Again, from this storm, it was confirmed in George County to have had extensive damage. We're talking extensive damage. Someone witnessed this tornado in George County. There's been a lot of damage confirmed with this, and this is moving east right now through Mobile County. That area that we are potentially seeing that tornado, which was confirmed to be on the ground, is in the Wilmer area, just to the east of Wilmer now by Lott and Fairview. You can see Churchill Downs right there. These, again, are just some neighborhood names. These aren't official towns. These are just what our radar uses as neighborhood names, and this is moving towards the east. I'll go ahead and put a track of this for you right now so you can see where it's heading at this point. And I'll get back to some of the other tornado warnings that we were seeing in Escambia County, Alabama as well. So this is heading to the east at around 40 miles an hour, 8 mile. It'll be near you in about 15 minutes or less. So that's why you need to be seeking shelter as soon as possible. Saraland, you're in around that time frame as well. Red Creek Heights in about 4 minutes or so. You can see that center of rotation where you get that maroon there. That is our rotation detector showing you where we are seeing that potential spin. Again, from this storm, we have had extensive damage reported in George County, Mississippi. So this is not just a radar-indicated storm. This is actually has been confirmed to be on the ground in George County as this continues to move towards the east. All right, I'm going to go and shift my attention back up now to our two other tornado warnings that are in Escambia County. Both of these are just to the west and northwest of Bruton and moving to the east at around 45 to 55 miles an hour. There's some heavy rain, frequent lightning, and even outside of these tornado warnings in the area, you're going to get some gusty straight-line winds that potentially could exceed 60 miles an hour, and that could also cause some damage. So while some of you may not even officially be in that tornado warning for Escambia County or even the one that we're seeing in Mobile County, it's a good idea just to seek shelter because we are seeing dangerously high, gusty straight-line winds that can cause just as much damage as a weak tornado. Just reading, we have a new update here from the National Weather Service. George County has been canceled or has been removed from the tornado warning. That's some good news, of course. Like I said, that is pretty much passed towards your east, but we still remain under a tornado warning in Mobile County in Mobile, Alabama, or just to the west of Mobile. And you can see here, right where we're getting that little hook to, by Churchill Downs, by Fairview, lot right there. This is where we would be seeing that rotation right now. I'll go ahead and draw this on the screen for you. Right there, just to the southwest of Lot, right in that area. It's really right on top of you at this point. And this is moving towards the east. I'll go ahead and put another track down on this as well. It's moving towards the east at about 40, 45 miles an hour. It's right in the area of Semmes currently. You can see it's right over Semmes and moving to the east towards 8 Mile. Also, you can see Whistler about 12 minutes away. So this is about 15 minutes away from getting towards Saraland, from the Pritchard area, for those towns that are just to the north of Mobile. That's as far east as this warning extends right now. And I'm going to get back to covering some of the other warnings in Escambia County, Alabama, and see what we have for picking up on rotation there. You can see just to the west of, you can see Little Rock right there, where you have those greens and reds that are being together. I'll put a circle on that for you too as well, where we are picking up that rotation. This is I-65 right here. So right now, this is I-65 right here in South Alabama through Escambia County. And that is where that rotation is being picked up. You see Little Rock, Martinville, there's Route 21, there's Huxford, and this is moving towards the east at about 45 miles an hour, 45, 50 miles an hour right now. So this is moving towards Bruton. We have another tornado warning up for Appleton and Lenox as well. I'm going to go ahead and clear this one off. Both of these, by the way, are until 10:45. All the tornado warnings that we have on the map right now in the area of Mobile and Escambia counties and parts of Conecuh County, these are all until 10:45 a.m. So if you are in any of those counties, Mobile and Escambia County, you need to be seeking your safe place at this point. The one in Mobile is actually confirmed to have been on the ground in George County, Mississippi, which is some serious business right there. That has been known to cause extensive damage in George County. We're going to put on our shear detector here. It appears that this storm in the Appleton area, just to the northwest of Appleton along Route 41, that one appears to have weakened just a little bit in terms of that rotation. Let's look back in history here to see if we can pick up when it was a little bit stronger. Yeah, you can see when it was over Huxford, that's when the tornado warning was issued. You could clearly see that rotation where the greens and the reds are meeting right there. But as this continued to move east, you can see the last couple of frames there, that's some good news over Appleton, over that part of northern Escambia County, that there has been some weakening of rotation, but still that tornado warning is in place until 10:45. And it continues to move east. And even though the rotation is weakened, you still could see some dangerous gusty straight line winds in excess of 60 miles an hour. It appears that the rotation is a little bit more robust over parts of central Escambia County, central western Escambia County, just to the west of Bruton here. I'm going to put on our shear detector right now. You can see we're getting those brighter greens right there. That shows some weak to strong, kind of like a middle ground rotation right there. It's not quite into that maroon that we saw in Mobile County that would indicate strong rotation. That was confirmed to be on the ground in George County, Mississippi. And again, this is moving east at 45 miles an hour approximately. I'm going to go ahead and put a track on our radar here to show you when it will be in your town, Bruton. The timing of this is going to be in about 30 minutes or so. I know that's the big town in that area. Wallace, about 16 minutes or so. Pineview, 9 minutes as this continues to truck on east. Again, this tornado warning is until 10:45, so the time frame here for Bruton is going to be towards the end of that warning, around 10:45, when we would see that rotation make it to you. Again, this one is just radar indicated rotation. The one in Mobile County, that storm has had a history of actually producing a tornado in George County, Mississippi, and that same storm is moving towards the east. So I'm going to go ahead and check on that one to see where that one is located right now. You can see how this one has a much stronger rotation indication right here. It's just to the east of Lot. I'm going to turn on our reflectivity right here. So it's raining heavily in addition to that. Also, even outside of that main area of rotation, you're going to get some gusty straight line winds out of this one as well. You can see right now where we are getting that rotation right over Indian Hills, Kushla, as this continues to move towards the east. And I'll turn on the shear rate. That's a little bit of a better visual for us right here. So you can see now that latest frame, extreme rotation indicated in parts of Mobile County. This is right near Kushla, and let's see if we can get the road. You see Kushla-McLeod Road, and also along the intersection. Let's see if this one right here, that's not popping up on our map. But this is approaching Kushla in Mobile County, just to the northwest of Mobile. You can see there's Highway 45 right there. This is approaching Highway 45 at this point. This one has the strongest signature out of any tornado warning we have right now. And this would be approaching the Saraland area. So if you're in Saraland, you need to be seeking shelter immediately. If you haven't already, you need to get into the lowest interior level room of your house. Basement's usually the best option. And try to get away from windows. You want to put a helmet on. If you have a helmet and easy access or something that will protect you from flying debris, blankets and also jackets really good at protecting you from that. And again, this is until 10:45. You can see where we are getting that yellow right there. That is Doppler radar picking up some extreme rotation, and this was confirmed to be on the ground in George County, Mississippi. We don't have any official reports out of Mobile, but I'll go back ahead and check to see if we do have any reports of this confirmed to be on the ground. Right now, yes, we do have confirmation that the tornado was located over Semmes, 9 miles northwest of Midtown Mobile. So we had confirmation in George County, and now as of 2 minutes ago, we have confirmation that the tornado was located over Semmes. So this is a confirmed tornado right now at 10:17. Is when the report came down. So that is just a few minutes ago. This is confirmed to be on the ground. So we get a tornado on the ground in Mobile County. This is now heading towards Saraland. So if you are in Saraland, right now this is crossing Route 45, just to give you an idea. Highway 45 is where this is crossing right now. You see where that yellow is? That is where our radar is picking up strong rotation. At this point, and it has been confirmed not only now in George County, but also this is confirmed to be on the ground in Mobile County in Semmes. Semmes confirmed this tornado. And this is going to continue to move east towards Saraland. Right now it's moving east at about 40 miles an hour, so I'm going to go ahead and put another track on this. Track it probably a little bit further out over the Delta in case we do see this get extended into Baldwin County. So you can see Kushla, it's in that area right now. Saraland, this is about 5 to 10 minutes out, depending on exactly where you are. And if this were to continue over the Delta, which unfortunately is not which is unfortunately a good place for tornado development because it's flat. There's not a lot of friction, and this is going over, and this would be going over to Hurricane, which is just to the north of Spanish Fort, of course, in about 20 minutes or so. So timeline for this, like I said, Saraland, it's going to be in your neck of the woods in around 5 to 10 minutes. Right now it's over Kushla and along U.S. Route 45. And it is crossing Route 45 as we were speaking. This is a tornado that is confirmed to be on the ground. We got a tornado on the ground, folks. And this is right now in Kushla, moving east, crossing Route 45, and eventually moving towards Saraland. So if you are in Saraland right now, you need to be getting to your safe place at this point. That's the lowest interior room. Could, in fact, clip the north of Chickasaw. We can see these kind of jog north to south sometimes. But, yeah, where we are getting that rotation currently would be right over the Kushla area. Let's see if we can put on another velocity form here. So right now, you can see it's now approaching Saraland, right in between U.S. Route 45 and 43. There's College Woods right now. We'll see that road right here. Let's see if this get labeled. The College Parkway is right there. This again moving towards the northeast. This is in the University of Mobile area, moving towards the northeast, towards Saraland right now. I'll go ahead and put the shear rate back on. It's a little bit easier for you all to visualize at this point. Again, this is just to the southeast of Kushla, moving towards the east. This was confirmed to be on the ground in Saraland. And if we turn back on the radar here in terms of rain, it's raining heavily over Saraland right now. You can see where we're getting that little hook in there is where we are detecting some rotation at this point as this continues to move towards the east, passing probably just to the north of Chickasaw. And this warning continues until 10:45 a.m.
That's right. The tornado warning for Baldwin County was canceled, but the tornado warning that you're tracking, Kyle. By the way, Kelly Foster here with NBC 15, joining Kyle right now. Again, that was a confirmed tornado. Right now, it continues to move towards the east at about 40 miles per hour. A lot of heavy rain coming down right now. This tornado moving towards Pritchard. Also, this is going to be moving towards Saraland, Chickasaw, I-65 right now, Highway 158, and we're going to see this continue to move that way towards around 10:30. So to repeat, a possible tornado on the ground. We encourage you to take cover now. Move to the lowest level of your home. If you're upstairs, go down. You want to make sure that the zone that you're in is sturdy. It is away from windows, and you definitely want to be inside. If you're in a mobile home or in a vehicle, you need to move to the closest substantial shelter and protect yourself from any flying debris. There's a look at where we're finding that rotation. Kyle has it circled there on the Doppler radar. As you can see right now, it's to the south and west of Saraland, and this is moving eastbound at about 40 miles per hour. Keep in mind, though, when we begin to see these rotating storms, although they're moving east at about 40 miles per hour, they can take a slight jog to the north and west. So we are expecting this rotating storm with a tornado to be near Hurricane in 17 minutes, Brumley in 19. Carpenter, you have 19 minutes to take cover. Same for Crossroads. White House Forks about 23 minutes, D'Olivan 25, Stapleton 25, Douglasville 26, and Holly Hills in about 26 minutes. Same for the Pine Haven area. And those are a look at some of the Baldwin County areas. Also, it's going to be crossing 225, and we could also begin to see this move along Highway 31 as well. Again, a lot of this activity with this rotating storm is north of Interstate 10 right now, but the I-65 corridor definitely under the gun in Mobile County as we head towards around 10:45 this morning. So that is when the tornado warning will hopefully expire. But again, things have really ramped up. The atmosphere is prime for these rotating storms, and we've been watching this all week. We've been ready for it. And again, this is going to continue to push eastward at about 40 miles per hour. So again, we want you to take cover now from this. Right now, we do have another tornado warning that was just issued from the National Weather Service. This is for Escambia County, Alabama, and southeastern Conecuh County. This tornado warning for these two counties is going to be in place until 11:15 this morning. And what we're watching here is a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado. It is located 7 miles southeast of I-65 and Highway 113, or about 8 miles west of Bruton, and this one is moving east at 45 miles per hour. This is radar indicated tornado, a radar indicated rotating storm, and this will, of course, put you in danger near Bruton and East Bruton at about 10:35 this morning. That is in about 10 minutes. So we're going to watch it for you. Again, we encourage you to take cover now, lowest level of your home, away from windows. A lot of homes don't have a basement, and so we encourage you to make sure that you're in the lowest level, away from windows, center of your home. If you have an open floor plan in your home, a bathroom is a good place to be, or under a piece of furniture until this passes. As you can see, that is near the Foshee area in Escambia County, Alabama. And we are watching several warnings that are lighting up the radar right now on our rotation detector. We have a lot of lightning out there as well. Now is not the time to be out taking pictures. If you hear thunder, you can get struck by lightning. Of course, we always love weather pictures. Now is the time not to be outdoors taking pictures. Also, a brand new severe thunderstorm warning. This is for Mobile and Baldwin County, and this is going to be in place until 11:15 this morning, a possible severe storm located about 5 miles southwest of I-65 and Highway 225 near the Chickasaw area, or about 3 miles northeast of Tanner Williams, and that is moving currently towards the east. This one's moving faster at about 65 miles per hour, so we're going to be watching that very closely as well. So again, we have multiple warnings that we are watching currently. At this time, we have that tornado warning that is in place. We have about 5 severe thunderstorm warnings as well, and this latest one is for Escambia County, Mobile County, and Central Baldwin County, and that is going to be in place until about 11:15 this morning. So again, we encourage you, if you live in the Mobile area, to download our free NBC 15 weather app, or just keep watching us on air, and we will continue to track these storms for you. This is where we're seeing the worst of it right now, coming up on the Chickasaw area, right up I-65, and you can see Highway 43, drenching downpours. This is blinding rain at this point, and this is where we are seeing this rotating storm at this point. Also, Whistler, this is near the Pritchard area. We're seeing some rotation in this area as well. Some of the streets that we're watching: Opp Avenue, Mount Sinai Avenue, Owen Street, and also North Gold Avenue, Warren Street as well, where it intersects with Whistler Street. And if I named off your street, you need to just stay put. No need to panic. Also, you can see along St. Stephen's Road as well. That is where we're seeing some rotation with this latest tornado warning that is in place for Mobile County. We also have a severe thunderstorm warning for Mobile County till 11:15. Also Escambia County and Baldwin County until 11:15 this morning as well. So again, all these storms are moving eastward at about 40 miles per hour right now. We'll go ahead and put this into motion for you, where we are tracking this. And again, all this currently bearing down on I-65 and Highway 45. We're going to go ahead right now and toss it to Kyle. He is at the wall currently, and Kyle will let you take it away with some information.
Okay, I got some information from George County EMA right now. The tornado was reported. Of course, they are out of the warning officially now. But there was a tornado confirmed to be on the ground. Highway 63 at County Line, Highway 63 at County Line, and also Basin Refuge Road and Basin Ridge Road. This is that storm where we had that confirmed tornado. We also had confirmation that this was in Semmes as well, and this is continuing to move towards the east. It appears that the tornado warning has just expired. Yes.
It did. The National Weather Service just canceled the tornado warning for central Mobile County. Although the tornado threat is diminished and the tornado warning is canceled, damaging winds still remain likely because we still have a severe thunderstorm warning in place. So please keep that in mind. And a severe thunderstorm warning is going to be in place for Mobile County until 11:15. Kyle?
Yes. And now, could we go back to that tornado warning now in Bruton? So, of course, if you're in Baldwin County, Hurricane, Blakely, those are two places that are now in that new severe thunderstorm warning, where you could see wind gusts in excess of 60 miles an hour possible. But this is still an active tornado warning right here. Right now, this includes Bruton. This is in Escambia County, of course, in Alabama. You can see there's the rotation detection right there, where you have those bright greens. This is just to the west of Bruton. I'd say that's about 2 miles or so, Wild Fork Road, and this is going to continue to move towards the east at approximately 45 miles an hour. Again, this tornado warning right now, it includes a good portion of Escambia County, includes the city of Bruton, and this is until 11:15 a.m. This is a radar indicated tornado. You can see where radar is indicating that is just to the west of Bruton. You can see there's Highway 31 right there. You have the greens right there, and you have the reds. The green right here, that's wind moving towards the west. The red, that's wind moving towards the east. Where you get these two to collide, that is radar indicating that we are getting some spin there. This is where potentially we could be looking at a tornado. Again, this is radar indicated. This hasn't been confirmed like the one that we had. We had confirmation in Semmes and also in George County, Mississippi, of a tornado right there. You can see there's state It's kind of hard. State Route 41. This is crossing State Route 41. You can see there's Scott Road right there. So Scott Road and State Route 41, right where those two intersect at this point, is where we are potentially seeing that rotation right there as this continues to move towards the east. Again, this is about a couple miles to the west of Bruton. So if you are in Bruton right now, you need to be getting to your safe place, lowest interior room of your house. You want to make sure you got, if you have anything to protect you. I know for a lot of people, they don't have a basement, but if you're heading to, like, say, a closet, or also a bathroom, some good objects in there that you can use to protect your skin from any sort of flying debris. That could be a towel, that could be a jacket. If you have access to any sort of helmet to put on your head just to protect yourself from any potential flying debris, those are also good to use. This is just to the south of Appleton as well. There's Appleton, just to the north of the center of rotation. Again, this is until about 11:15. Let's see if we can get a little track on this. So Boykin is one of the towns in there. Anyway, it's raining heavily in portions of Escambia County right now. You're getting not only the threat for tornado right now. You get tornado warning until 11:15. We have certainly very heavy rain right on the northern side of this thing. As I zoom out here, you can see some towns. This is going to pass generally right near Bruton. Right now, the center of rotation is indicated just to the west of Bruton. This is going to continue to move east and towards places like Kirkland in about 10 minutes. Dixie in about 45 minutes. This is until 11:15. Like I said, Dixie, you are on the very, very end of this warning in Escambia County, Alabama. And if we go ahead and put that rotation tracker on, you can see it's a little bit weaker right now. There's Foshie right there as this continues to move towards the east at about 45 miles an hour. And you can see now we have the actual wind direction there. So there's Kirkland, there's Bruton, where you have these greens and reds meeting. That circle right there, thank you, Kelly, is where we would potentially be seeing some rotation. There's downtown Bruton. So this is just to the northwest of Bruton. There's that latest scan. Again, right along Route 41. And this is about to cross Route 31, the center of this rotation. Hasn't been confirmed, but this is radar indicated. You can see right here, we are seeing a little bit of that still. The green, that's air moving to the west, and red, that is air moving towards the east. Again, this is passing just to the north of the center of Bruton right now. And I believe, Kelly, do you have any new information from the National Weather Service?
I do. The tornado warning for south central Conecuh County is canceled. That tornadic thunderstorm that prompted that warning has moved out of the warned area, so the warning has been canceled for that portion of Conecuh County, but we still have a tornado watch until 3 o'clock for south central Alabama, so we want everybody aware that we could be looking at more tornado warnings as the afternoon goes on. There are no longer two circulations over Escambia County, Alabama, but of course we are going to be watching all the severe weather as we continue through the afternoon. So keep that in mind, that the tornado warning for Conecuh County has now been canceled.
Some good news there, but we still have that. You can clearly see that we still have some of that rotation out there. In Bruton right now, just to the northwest of Bruton, you can see there's Route 41, State Route 41, where those greens and those reds are colliding right there. We talk about that all the time. That is where we're getting wind in one direction. That green is moving west, the red is moving east. And where they collide, that's radar indicating that there could be some spin here. Again, this is Route 41. There is, for reference there is downtown Bruton. This is not that far away from downtown Bruton. This is just to the northwest where we are seeing some of this rotation as this continues to move east at around 45 miles an hour or so. So we got some towns up here on the map as this continues to move towards the east. Rock Hill, about 5 minutes. Dixie, 32 minutes. Boykin, 18 minutes. Marietta, about 26 minutes. If you're in any of these towns, or really if you are in the Bruton area and then east of Bruton, pretty much the entirety of Escambia County, you need to be, or that eastern half of Escambia County, I should say, you need to be getting to your safe place as soon as possible. Now, if you're in one of these areas like Dixie or Marietta, Boykin, it might be a little bit too close in time for you. I know that's officially out of the out of the viewing area in Covington County. But anyway, if you are more than 20 minutes out and you live in a mobile home, you might have enough time now to seek a little bit more sturdy shelter. That is an option for you at this point. But if you're in Brewton or any nearby towns just to the east, it's probably too late. You need to deal with what you have in your immediate area. Right now, the center of that circulation would be right around the Brewton area, just to the north of downtown, as this continues to move east. And I guess, Kelly, you can give us a little bit of a wider view because, Brewton's got the tornado warning, but we also have severe thunderstorm warnings in effect in other parts of the area. So you can see in Mobile right now, we have a severe thunderstorm warning. That is for the potential for straight line winds, gusting potentially as high as 70 miles an hour. That includes pretty much any area along I-10 and just to the north. Also, Baldwin County, you are included in this proportion. Spanish Fort included in that warning, that severe thunderstorm warning, and also Stapleton as well. A couple areas where we could be looking at potentially some gusty straight line winds. Atmore also now seeing some heavy rain, some gusty winds, frequent lightning. You can see the strongest portion of it right now. That is in Brewton, where we do have that tornado warning that is in place until 11:15. Like I said, where we are picking up on that rotation is just on the northern side of town. As this continues to move towards the east. There's Kirkland right there, Rock Hill. You all are next. Brewton, you're getting right in the thick of it now with the heaviest of the rain. That center of rotation, like I said, just now passing to the north of town by Kirkland, and this is going to continue to move towards the east. There's Rock Hill right there, and there's Boykin. So right now, just to the north of Brewton is where we are getting that radar indicated rotation out of this storm, and this is moving towards the east, towards Rock Hill right now, and eventually into Boykin. Kelly, do you have...
Yeah, the tornado warning is still in place for Escambia County until 10:45 this morning, so we want everybody to be mindful of that. We still have about 6 more minutes left on that warning, so we want you ready. As you can see right now, this heavy rain coming down with that possible rotation right along Highway 41 where it intersects with Highway 31. There's going to be a lot of rain in advance of this right now. It's going to be moving towards the Highway 29 area near Forest Avenue. Rock Hill, you're going to get raked over with that rotation, so will Boykin. Damascus could as well. And again, this is moving at a rapid rate towards the east-southeast at about 45 to 55 miles per hour right now. So we want you to take cover, get to that safe zone in your home. You can watch us with your telephone, and we're going to step you through this. Again, we have these tornado warnings still in place for Escambia County, Alabama, and all this action right now with the tornado warnings are south of I-65, and really the bullseye currently is Escambia County, Alabama. Now, if this line of storms holds together, we could begin to see this across the northern zones of our Florida Panhandle counties. So again, Highway 31, if you live along Highway 31 near Pollard, Kego, Riverview, or even near Highway 29 near Boykin, you need to just stay put. Again, we are seeing that rotation near the Brewton area currently, and this is going to be moving at a rapid rate, as we talked about, 45 to 55 miles per hour. So at this point, in terms of Mobile County, we're under a severe thunderstorm warning, but the tornado warnings that are currently in place do include Escambia County, Alabama. Conecuh counties was expired. This is a look at the radar right now, and again, you can see these showers and storms are coming down at a good clip. We have a lot of lightning, and again, with Escambia County, Alabama currently, Highway 41, Highway 31, that is the danger zone for this rotation, and we don't want you to be in danger. All we want you to do at this point is be aware, be in that safe zone of your home. Again, if you're upstairs, go down away from windows, surrounded by walls, and let's just wait this out. We currently have about 4 more minutes left on this tornado warning right now. We continue with that severe thunderstorm warning though for Mobile and Baldwin County. We're going to take a look at that because the potential for damaging straight line winds. This is for zones in Mobile and Baldwin Baldwin County, just along I-10 and northward, right near the Bayway, along I-65 in between Pritchard and Mobile, the Blakely area, and all this moving towards Brumley at this point. So as you can see, that line continues from Mobile all the way to Bruton, and this is a look at that line of storms where we've seen the potential for damaging winds and rotation. And again, damage was reported near the George-Jackson County line due to this line of storms. So again, a lot of lightning, heavy rain, and we are detecting some rotation still at this point near the Bruton area. We'll go ahead and stop the radar where we can get a closer look. And again, it's right now near Bruton, East Bruton, is where we're seeing that potential rotation at this point. So still several tornado warnings for Escambia County, Alabama until 11:15. We're looking at 3 of them until 11:15, and then for Mobile and Baldwin County, that severe thunderstorm warning is until 11:15 this morning. So here's again a look at the radar. We have Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals. He is in the studio right now, and Alan, will go ahead and toss it to you over there at the wall.
Yeah, in fact, I'm going to have our director switch over to our main computer, and yeah, so my main computer, I'm going to back it up for just 1 second. We're about to transition by watching the clock, of course, to 10:45, and at that point, officially, watches, warnings, they will be modified, but the warnings is what we're most concerned about. So we're going to focus in right now on where the most active weather is. To this point, you've heard we've had reports of wind damage in George County, Mississippi, wind damage in northern Clark County, and we're still watching these strong thunderstorms that are severe thunderstorms, producing that possibility of an isolated tornado. So we'll start off in Escambia County, Alabama, where you have multiple tornado warnings. If you are anywhere in the central part of Escambia County and you feel threatened, whether you're under a warning or not, take shelter, get to your safe place. Now, these storms, as you've heard, are moving very quickly toward the east, and that means things will change quickly. Boykin, the downpour is about to begin. Lots of lightning in Kirkland, most of it passing just north of Bruton, and this will continue on an eastward path. If you travel farther westward along US 31, US 29, same stretch of road right there between Flomaton and Bruton, that's going to be the next area to pick up those downpours coming in from Osaka. Those are also on an eastward path. This area is suspect for either straight line wind damage or the possibility of a tornado spinning up. A little bit farther to the west, right along Highway 31, toward Malta, Flomaton, Atmore, that's your next area of concern. These thunderstorms have the threat of producing some medium to large hail, and of course that straight line wind. As you move across the Perdido River to northern Baldwin County, we don't see that same solid area of rain. Nothing that looks too concerning here right now, but the heavy rain, that's about to move across Highway 59 into Baldwin County. So Pine Haven, Holly Hills, Douglasville, Bay Minette, White House Fork, you're right on the edge of what's going to be a lot of rain in a short period of time. The winds are going to pick up as they always do, and these thunderstorms, even without being severe thunderstorms, can produce wind gusts of 40 to 50 miles an hour. So small tree branches, limbs, small limbs can come down. It's just about to slowly taper along 225. Obviously, it's a situation where don't even think about going out. As I came into the station a little while ago, traffic was heavy in West Mobile, especially for a day like today. But do not move, stay in place. Spanish Ford, Busby Landing, those spots are about to get some downpours, and always that small possibility of a burst of wind that can produce damage. There you see downtown Mobile. Right now looks good there, but from Pritchard to 8 Mile, Saraland, places like Creola, steady rain, but fortunately tapering to the northwest of that, which I'll show you the wide picture in just a moment. Here's the radar site at Mobile's airport. That circle tells you the radar can't see right above it. It always looks out and can see what's going on. From Brookley southward to Dog River, one thunderstorm there, not showing any intense rotation. And then as you move back into George County, Mississippi, and northern Jackson County, Mississippi, things there calmer at the moment. Here's the wider picture of the current layout of watches or at least warnings. The yellow flashing, those are severe thunderstorm warnings. So right now, downtown Mobile, places like Daphne, Spanish Fort, you're in a severe thunderstorm warning. Just north of that, northern Baldwin County, Escambia County, and Conecuh County, Alabama, also under severe thunderstorm warnings. Fortunately, at this point, we just have one tornado warning, and that's the one that basically starts right at Bruton and extends farther eastward. Tornado warning means there's a likelihood of a tornado. So in that spot, you've got to get to your safe place. Look how quickly this system has been moving. You saw Kyle Hansen earlier this morning. Literally about an hour and a half ago, these thunderstorms were in central and southern Mississippi. They are steadily moving, which is exactly what we want. We don't want them to linger. And at the rate that they're moving, they will eventually impact Bruton, Boykin, and Brooklyn. So that's the main area, tornado warning. This one goes until 11 o'clock. And the weather is not digital. It doesn't mean the threat stops at 11. It means right now it looks like it'll start winding down toward 11. It could be extended. It could be canceled. The main area of concern is between Fourche and Bruton, back down toward Pollard, even though Pollard technically is not in the warning. But that's your main area. If you're in Bruton, even though you may have a lull in the weather, stay in your safe spot. Be prepared inside part of your house. Surround yourself with cushions like mattresses and pillows. Just be prepared for that threat of damaging wind, whether it's a straight line wind or a rotating wind. It'll sound the same, and it can do the same sort of damage to your roof and to your siding. Boykin still on the southern edge of that, but the whole area of active weather, severe weather potential is moving toward the east. Now here's a look at the forecast map moving through the middle part of the day. This is a projection roughly a half hour from now. What it will show is places like Greene County, George County, Washington County. You're in the clear. No issue there. Most of North Mobile County will be in the clear. Baldwin County, you still may have some thunderstorms moving through. And then the Florida Panhandle, Escambia, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa, those are the counties that have to be prepared for what we dealt with across southern Mississippi, what we dealt with in southwestern Alabama. That's 11:30. Move forward in time to about 12:30. Notice the wind shifting out of the west, and at that point, if all goes well, there may just be a couple of thunderstorms along the coastline, Pensacola toward Fort Walton Beach, but even those do have that small possibility of becoming severe. And if you're on the coast, this is one of those weather patterns where you can watch thunderstorms come in from the Gulf, little tiny isolated ones that can rotate and produce a waterspout that technically becomes a tornado when it hits land. And then by about 1:30 in the afternoon, 1:30 to 2:30, that'll be it. We will be in the clear. Things will be much quieter and much calmer at that point. So basically, we've got to get through the next couple of hours, and then we will calm down. 76 degrees at Mobile's airport. There you see the low gray clouds, but you don't see rotating clouds. You don't see lightning. These are positive things. Focus on what you don't see, because that's where things are positive. Here's what we do see. Along US 29, that's where that leading edge of severe thunderstorm is. I mentioned that that is an area in the middle of a tornado warning. If you have friends who live there, friends or family, and they may not be aware, let them know what's happening. Obviously, you've got lightning. Places like Roberts are ahead of this right now, and for Bruton, it's mostly southward toward Riverview where the most intense part of that thunderstorm is. However, it is moving toward the east. So again, you are not done if you're in Bruton or places like Rock Hill. This will cross Highway 41 north of Dixonville, Florida, and continue on that eastward track. Osaka, Fourche, you're right in the middle of the downpours. Your threat of severe weather is medium, but that doesn't mean it's zero. So again, just be aware. You saw the lightning. Most of the lightning right now is north of Rock Hill and north of Bruton. Lightning is also a threat. Even though it comes with all thunderstorms, it's the threat of your home being struck, which could lead to a fire. And of course, you don't want to be touching metal that's connected to the outside of your home, whether you're cooking on a stove or touching the pipes that are connected outside. And keep in mind, lightning can come in through your cable line, through your satellite dish, through all those little wires that run outside. So you want to make sure you're not touching anything metal that's connected to something that's connected to the outside. There's a view right now. Flomaton's right in the middle of the picture. And at this point, we're not seeing anything too intense. And Kelly and Kyle, if you do see something that's out of the ordinary, do let me know, because I'm looking at a really close-up view of the bigger picture here. Bratt, Florida, Briar Lake Estates, thunderstorms. And I know when we're under tornado watch and you hear tornado warnings, every time the wind picks up, you wonder, is that it? Is that it? Well, most of us are not going to see tornadoes today, if any of us do. Now, yes, we've had some wind damage, but this is a situation where out of a large area of threat, it would be a small, if it happens, a small tornado area. And even with the straight line wind, a relatively small area. So along US 31 southward towards Steelwood, there you see the progression very quickly along 225 in Baldwin County. It's over. That's it. The winds have shifted. But now if you are in Bay Minette, Douglasville, White House Fork, Holly Hills, down toward Pine Haven, that's where you've got steady torrential rain. Maybe not a lot of lightning, but it's the sort of rain that it does make you nervous because you're wondering what's going to come. But right now in that location, we're not seeing rotation. Farther southward, Spanish Fort, you've got a break. Busby Landing northward to Bromley, that's that main corridor of downpours crossing the river delta. If you're in Malbus, that will clear out of your area pretty quickly and then back into Mobile County. Downtown Mobile, still okay. Midtown, mostly okay. And then from Pritchard back to West Mobile, Bellwood to Glen Acres, still more heavy rain, downpours, but not at least a threat of severe weather. And fortunately for our neighbors, our friends in southern Mississippi, things are looking calmer at this point. So there's the outline again. Yellow, severe thunderstorm warning. These are really large severe thunderstorm warnings simply because it's pretty obvious that these are going to continue to move as they're moving without weakening quickly. So this severe thunderstorm warning that covers Escambia County, Alabama, also covers the extreme northern portion of Escambia County, Florida, the extreme northern portion of Santa Rosa County, and then there's another severe thunderstorm warning basically for west central Baldwin County. Within that larger severe thunderstorm warning is the tornado warning. You notice the box just got a little bit smaller simply because the National Weather Service is fine-tuning where the threat is. In fact, I'm going to see if I can back all the way around here. I think my next graphic is there it is. All right, so there's the outline of the tornado warning. Now it's a much smaller area. Notice that if you are in Bruton, you're not in the warning anymore. It doesn't mean there's zero threat. It means you're unlikely to see a tornado, but you're still under a severe thunderstorm warning, as is the rest of Escambia County, Alabama. So Pollard, Foshee, Osaka, Wabeek, Atmore, you all still could see straight line winds that will be 50, 60, 70 miles an hour. The rotating wind, that threat of rotation, is pretty much close to Boykin right now. In front of it, Dixie, Brooklyn, Fish Pond, those are locations where get ready. There's the potential for a tornado coming toward you from the west. Get to your safe place. Make sure your family is doing the best that they can. So there's the forecast map. I'll step out of the picture, and the forecast map shows things are quickly, very quickly, going to weaken.
And Alan, yeah, so it's good information there. This is going to clear out by early afternoon, but right now we are dealing with that tornado warning still till 11:15. This has shrunk, as Alan just stated there. This is continuing to move towards the east. It is now east of Bruton. Bruton, you are in the clear. It's mainly Boykin and also Dixie that are under the gun for the potential for a tornado here. Right now, it's just radar indicated. There hasn't been any confirmation on the ground. There is some good news that the rotation has generally weakened, but you can see where it is right now. I will clear off the warning there. You can see right by Boykin where you have that shade of green and red right there. That is wind moving in two different directions. That green is moving towards the west, and then the red is moving towards the east. I'll show you exactly what I mean here with a circle to show you where that rotation is right now. Generally over the Damascus, Marietta area, moving east towards Dixie. Again, this is until 11:15, but this is likely going to clear that box before that time. This is moving very quickly here along Highway 29 eastward there until 11:15, I believe. Kelly's got some more information here by the National Weather Service.
Yes, we have 3 brand new severe thunderstorm warnings, and they include east central Baldwin County, also northwestern Santa Rosa County, and northwestern Escambia County, Florida. These thunderstorm warnings are in place until 11:45 this morning. There is a line of severe thunderstorms from 4 miles east of Bay Minette to 4 miles south of Stapleton. It is tracking east at 55 miles per hour. The biggest hazard with this line are going to be wind gusts in excess of 70 miles per hour. So you will see there is the potential for considerable tree damage with this, mobile homes, roofs, and the outbuildings. We could see some issues there. So if you have any loose items around your home and that storm is not in your area yet, and you're not hearing thunder, anything that's loose, I would definitely make sure you either secure it or bring it in really, really quick. So also keep in mind we still have a tornado watch in place until 3 o'clock for southwestern Alabama, and that does include our Panhandle County. So again, with this brand new severe thunderstorm warning that includes 3 counties, we want you to be mindful that we could be looking at some damaging straight line winds with those gusts up to 70 miles per hour. We've also even heard some reports of hail. But again, that tornado warning definitely continuing at this hour. The only tornado warning that we have, although we have a trifecta of severe thunderstorm warnings, we still watching and tracking this tornado warning with this rotating storm in Escambia County, Alabama, impacting Highway 29.
Yeah, this is just one tornado warning within a huge line of storms, and now extends from basically Andalusia, northeastern Escambia County, all the way down to central Baldwin County, and eventually back in towards downtown Mobile is that end of the line right there. There's that newest severe thunderstorm warning for eastern Baldwin County, also northern Escambia County, Florida, and Santa Rosa County. That is until 11:45. You can see a nasty thunderstorm right now moving just to the east of Stapleton and to the southeast of Bay Minette as this continues to truck on towards the east. That tornado warning is now in effect for that northeastern corner of Escambia County. You can see here that it still doesn't expire until 7:15. It has shown some signs of weakening. You can look at the shear rate here. This is what we call a rotation detector. This is what we can use to show you all on TV where we might be looking at some rotation, the potential for a tornado within that warning right there. And we're not detecting anything really strong. For the most part, it is weak rotation along U.S. Route 29 east of Bruton. It's really kind of hard to pick out, and honestly, at this point, where there would be any sort of tornado if it were on the ground. If we look in the past, we had bring this back about 30 minutes or so. When it was over Bruton, you could see that bright red right there. So this basically measures how fast the wind is moving and the direction. That bright red spot you see over Bruton in this image about 30 minutes ago or so, that is fast-moving east wind, and then just to the north of that, you can see there's a green shade right there. That is westerly moving wind. That is picking up on some of that rotation. Notice, though, as this moves towards the east over Boykin and Dixie, those colors become a little bit more dull. That means that radar is indicating here that rotation is weakening. Those winds aren't as strong as what they once were, but we still remain under a severe thunderstorm warning in that area. That is until 11 o'clock. That tornado warning until 11:15. That covers Dixie and Brooklyn. Kelly?
We have some brand new severe thunderstorm warnings that extend across the Florida Panhandle, eastern Escambia County. That is in Alabama with that severe thunderstorm warning that Kyle just mentioned. Also, Conecuh County is under a severe thunderstorm warning. We have northern Okaloosa County now under a severe thunderstorm warning, and northern Santa Rosa County under a severe thunderstorm warning. And those 4 counties are under a severe thunderstorm warning until 11:45 this morning. Again, the line of storms extend from Elba to 17 miles east of Bruton to 3 miles northeast of Jay, and that line is moving at a really fast clip, 55 miles per hour. The hazard wind gusts 60 to 70 miles per hour. So again, damage to roofs, siding, trees, all possible when the winds begin to go that fast. Locations impacted are Crestview, Opp, Bruton, Florala, Baker, East Bruton, River Falls, Jay, Laurel Hill, Lockhart, the Riverview area, Point and Baker, and Rowville. We still have that tornado watch until 3 o'clock for our area as well.
And we're going to send it on over to Alan now. He's got an update of his own.
Yeah, just here's what's positive. In the last few minutes, we have had no new reports of anything substantial. We have had no new warnings. So the main warning that we're focusing on is that tornado warning that you see. It's in far eastern Escambia County. I'll back up to that. Far eastern Escambia County. Before I do so, make sure you know the basics. Tornado, it's not just something that comes out of nowhere. It comes from a severe thunderstorm, one that can produce winds over 60 miles an hour. It's a rotating funnel of air that sometimes you can see, sometimes you can't. and obviously it can do some serious damage. And that's why you need to know the rule. Just like as children, we're taught to stop, drop, and roll. For a tornado, you've got to get to that safe spot, smallest room within the middle part of your house, underneath strong furniture or a stairwell, and then try to cover yourself with soft items like blankets or pillows or even a mattress. So right now, there's the one area, the tornado warning, gradually being whittled away. It's centered over Boykin. That's in eastern Escambia County, Alabama. If you're in Bruton or Riverview, you're not in the warning anymore. Things are quieting down toward Foshee and Little Rock. And south of that, and in the same area, there are severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are the boxes with the yellow outline that you see flashing. And even those, you do have to take them seriously. We do get them frequently, but what it means is the thunderstorms are stronger than typical, and they could take off some of the siding of your house. They could do some damage to your shingles, to your roofing. And even if you're in a mobile home, a manufactured home that's raised up with a skirt on it, severe thunderstorms are a big concern because the home is more vulnerable. So from Oak Grove, we now are looking at, this is a new tornado warning, Kelly. This one from Oak Grove to Enon, back down into west central Baldwin County. So what's the Weather Service saying on that? It should be on our printer. This new severe tornado warning, it's just north of Gateswood in east central Baldwin County. It covers most of central Escambia County, Florida, and places like Enon, Bay Springs, Walnut Hill, crossing Highway 97 in Baldwin County. What's the expiration on this one, Kelly?
Nothing on the printer just yet, but the expiration is until 11:45 Central Baldwin, Northern Escambia County in Florida, and a severe thunderstorm warning capable of producing a tornado about 8 miles east of Stapleton, 9 miles southeast of Bay Minette. It's moving east at about 45 miles per hour right now. So there's a look. We have that brand new tornado warning until about 11:45 this morning. So make sure that you are ready for it. It does include central Baldwin County and northwestern Escambia County, Florida. So that is a look at the brand new information from the National Weather Service.
And for reference, Bay Minette is in the upper part of your screen. Malbus is in the lower part. This is the Perdido River separating Baldwin County and Escambia County, Florida. So right now this is mostly a wooded portion of Baldwin County, but it's just north of Gateswood. Tremendous downpours and maybe enough rotation in here that this will cross the Perdido River, targeting Enon, Bay Springs, possibly Walnut Hill within the next 15-20 minutes. You need to be ready to instantly take shelter, no matter where you are. If you are ahead of the active weather, you've got to have that part of your home cleaned out. It's got to be ready. There's got to be space for you, your kids, your pet. Just have a plan. That's the main thing. Back into Mobile County, severe thunderstorm warning for downtown, midtown. Notice, though, very heavy rain from Daphne, just north of Highway 104 towards Silver Hill, places like Malbus, Loxley. Ordinary but strong thunderstorms, and then within the city of Mobile itself, moving right down Airport Boulevard, soon to cross the malls area, thunderstorms steadily going toward downtown. So even though downtown you've had a break so far, it's not going to stay that way all of this late morning to midday. There's that forecast map, 11:30 this morning to about 12:30 this afternoon. It moves quickly. It will be out of the picture for just about all of us easily by about 2:30, 3 o'clock. So just hold on. We've got a couple more hours to deal with this. There you see the wind shifting after it moves through. This is what we want. That's going to clear the skies, lower the humidity, give us a good start to the new month. Of course, it starts tomorrow. In Mobile, 69 degrees. Temperature has fallen a great deal because of the rain, because of the shift in the wind, and very clearly you see on our tower camera here on Azalea Road, looking toward the northwest. If you look carefully, you can see the rain being blown. This is being blown from west to east, and of course, streaks across the camera lens. All of it not out of the ordinary with any thunderstorm, but definitely we are in an unsettled pattern. Here's the bigger picture of what's happening. So the picture I just showed you, the image I just showed you, it's right on the tail end of this last little thunderstorm about to head into Midtown and downtown Mobile. Notice the line, it is skinny, meaning as it moves across your area, in most spots, the impact is going to be brief, but there are two areas that we're looking at a little more closely. One in extreme northeastern Escambia County, Alabama, the other one in Baldwin and Escambia County, Florida. But for those of you on the coastline in the Florida Panhandle, even in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, don't forget to look offshore, because these little isolated thunderstorms moving onshore have that small potential for spinning up and producing an isolated tornado. There's the outline of the tornado warning. So the first one in northeastern Escambia County, finally, that one has expired or been canceled. Very good. So the one that we were talking about, Foshi toward Boykin, that has been canceled. The other one that's a little more substantial is the one that's now in west central Baldwin County, east central Escambia County. It's all in the area of a severe thunderstorm warning. So there you see the red outline of the box straddling the Perdido River on either side. Mobile County, right now, no warnings. You're clear in Washington, Clark, Greene, Jackson County. All those counties are clear. North of I-10 or south of I-10 right now, things are looking pretty good if you're at the coastline, closer to the Gulf of Mexico. But it's that one corridor along US 29 heading back into the Florida Panhandle from Escambia County, Alabama, where again, that tornado warning expired. That's good. That's what we want to know. But there is that still one more tornado warning which straddles the Perdido River from east central Baldwin County into west central Escambia County, Florida. So that's the one we'll put a little more attention on, even though you've got strong thunderstorms anywhere from Dixonville toward Mount Carmel, northward into east central Escambia County, Alabama. So there's Oak Grove, Highway 97 in Escambia County, Florida. That's kind of at the tail end of this tornado warning. So you have a little more time there to get your things settled and get set. Walnut Hill to Enon, and just about to cross the Perdido River, you see the brighter color, the magenta or pink or purple. That just tells you it's a much stronger, taller thunderstorm in that area. So this is what we want to watch out for. From Gateswood back toward, if you draw a line between Gateswood and Enon, that's where potentially there's a thunderstorm with enough rotation to drop down a tornado and eventually cross the Perdido River. Is the National Weather Service saying anything on this particular severe thunderstorm?
The one in Escambia County and Baldwin County, the one with the tornado warning, it's just radar indicated. So right now, it says a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 13 miles southeast of Bay Minette, moving east at 45 miles per hour. And if go ahead here, I can show you a track of this storm where it's headed. So it's moving east at 45 miles an hour right now. Of course, right over the Perdido River. You can see there's Bay Springs, Enon. This is until 11:45 a.m. You can see right here, I'll put on what we call our rotation detector right here, where you see that bright green. That is where we're seeing weak to moderate rotation at this point. And again, this is moving towards the east at 45 miles an hour. So if I go ahead and put a track on this thing at the center of rotation, which is now just to the west of the Perdido River, it would bring it over parts of Escambia County, Florida over the next several minutes or so. You can see Bay Springs about 8 minutes, Tennille 9, Molino, if it continues moving at this speed, probably about 20 minutes or so. So if you're anywhere in this in that path, you're definitely going to want to seek shelter in your safe place. It's either going to be a basement, you want to be away from windows, or that lowest interior room on the first floor. If you don't have a basement, a closet or a bathroom is usually good for that as well. You can see that the tornado warning is a pretty small area, and even if you're outside of this, I was saying this earlier today when this all started in George County. If you're not yet in the warning and you're in Molino, you're in parts of Santa Rosa County, Brownsdale, New York, you can see there, Barth, you're going to want to seek shelter anyway to give yourself some extra time, especially if you are in a mobile home. It's even in a severe thunderstorm where you're getting straight line winds that potentially could be in excess of 60 miles an hour. You're going to want to seek a more sturdy structure. So if you have that opportunity right now, you're well out ahead of this line, and you have the ability to do that. If you are in places like Molino, that would be an option for you. But if you're back towards Bay Springs, Tennille, out towards the Perdido River, right along the Florida-Alabama line. It's too late for you, and you're going to have to just seek shelter with what you have readily available if you are, unfortunately, in a less structured home or a mobile home of that sort. Right now, you can see that tornado warning encompassing that northwestern corner of Escambia County. Again, this is to the southeast of Bay Minette. To put into another perspective here, I can measure how far to the northwest of Cantonment this is. That's about, 16, 17 miles to the northwest of Cantonment in northwestern Escambia County. And this will go until 11:45, so that's the next 30 minutes or so, a little bit longer than that as this continues to move towards the east. And now I'm going to toss it on back over to Alan.
Yeah, and we'll take a wider view of what's happening. I always want to point out who's in the clear, and right now, if you are west of I-65, west or northwest of it, you're in the clear. The active weather has moved past you. It is now basically east of I-65. Moving eastward, we have areas of severe thunderstorm warnings, which are the yellow flashing outlines, and one tornado warning, which is the red flashing outline. So right now, from Bruton southward to Century, and then southward to about Malbus, that's where that strongest area of thunderstorms is. The main one is the one you see in the middle of the picture. That is the tornado warning, the sole tornado warning for the NBC 15 area. Already, if you're in Baldwin County, it's already cleared out. Now this part will be canceled shortly, but it has crossed the Perdido River, Enon, Bay Springs, Walnut Hill, but particularly Enon and Bay Springs. If you are close to either of those communities, you've got to be in your shelter right now. Take it seriously. So places like Pineville Road, from McKinnon southward on Highway 99 and northward toward Ossie Williams Road. These are locations where you could have rotation, a tornado. The radar shows what's going on above the ground. We can't confirm that it's on the ground. You will know, and if you do get damage from a tornado or even from straight line wind in your community, first make sure that you, your family, your pets are okay. Then, if you are in danger, call 911. If you're not in danger but you just have damage to your property, call your county emergency management agency so that way they can relay it to the National Weather Service. It's a chain of data information sharing, and it helps everybody understand better what's going on. So there's Highway 97. The main threat, it's still about 8 to 10 miles to the west of Highway 97. That will be crossing there very quickly because these are steadily moving thunderstorms, even though they're fairly small. White House Fork, Bay Minette, things are good, quiet. Pine, Haven, Stapleton, no issue. It has already moved past you. Still some thunderstorms right along I-10 in Baldwin County, and those extend southward toward Daphne. Places like Robertsdale, Loxley, you're going to get just that heavy rain with not a lot of rotation, at least at this point. The atmosphere constantly evolves and changes literally every several minutes. So that's why we watch the radar and we go over this over and over. And I know if you're not under that threat of severe weather, it might sound monotonous, but because people are constantly tuning in and checking in, and these are constantly changing, we do have to basically start back over to give you the picture. Airport Boulevard, okay, you're good for now. And then there's the bigger picture. So watch again for these. They're not likely to spin up and produce tornadoes, but it's not impossible. So if you're in an RV, a camper near the coastline, you still have to have your plan. You need to know how and when to get to that safe spot close to the area that you're staying in. Overall, though, there's not a lot in terms of thunderstorms offshore. Most of them are along with that band that I just showed you. Look at that. It was just minutes ago I was showing you the rain streaking across the camera, and now it's gone. The sky is starting to brighten. Again, the view from here on Azalea Road, the clouds are flat. They're not the bubbly, tall, ominous clouds. So that tells you across Mobile County, things are gradually calming, and calming is exactly what we want. We'll go easily through the next couple of hours, literally maybe 2 more hours as this moves eastward. A forecast projection, it's not perfect, but it gives you a sense that between 11:30, 12:30 this afternoon, no threat for most locations except for in the Florida Panhandle, where you will still be left with some lingering thunderstorms, the tail end of that before they all move out of here by late in the afternoon. So just wait for that, and then we'll see a better picture going toward tomorrow and also into the next couple of days, the start of April. If you're in front of that tornado warning, severe thunderstorm warning, know what to do, where to go. If you know someone who is in front of it and they may not be aware, give them a call, send them a text, let them know. And don't forget, for many of you, this is a little too late, but you've got to have an antenna, rabbit ear antenna for your TV. So if you lose cable or satellite, you can still keep up with what's going on, along with your NBC 15 weather app and your weather radio. So there's the big picture. Now another tornado warning. This is sort of an extension of the one that I was just talking about into Escambia County, Florida. This one goes into central Santa Rosa County. So it's that same area. We'll get in a little bit closer on that in just a moment, but another tornado warning. Do we have an expiration time on this new one?
So this is a brand new tornado warning issued about 30 seconds ago from the National Weather Service in Mobile. Radar indicated tornado possible, and this will go until 12 o'clock, and this is moving east at 45 miles an hour.
All right, so this overlaps the same area we were focusing on. Again, notice Baldwin County, west of the Perdido River, no issue, but Bay Springs, Enon, soon to cross Highway 97. There's strong rotation in this thunderstorm, and radar indicates it's enough to produce a tornado. So the tornado is possible north of Ten Isle, Bay Springs, heading toward Barth, Brickton, and then Bogia, eventually Shumukla. So in those communities, be prepared for the possibility of a tornado. Again, things are quiet. Enon, you're now in the clear. If you are along River Road in Baldwin County, you can get outside and look to the east. See what you can see because it has already passed you. But it's that other area that's more eastward into Escambia and Santa Rosa counties where we do have to watch for the threat of a tornado there. There's the picture for downtown Mobile. Quiet in downtown, quiet in midtown, but from Brookley Field back toward Lansdowne and Rabbit Creek Estates, still we're looking at some strong thunderstorms there that are moving toward the east.
Also, for the marine areas today, it's going to be hard to track, possibly hard for the meteorologists with the National Weather Service to warn or issue statements for the offshore storms south of Mississippi, Alabama, even Louisiana. Keep in mind these rainstorms could produce weak waterspouts, small individual thunderstorms, and some of which could produce weak funnels or waterspouts in the marine zones. So please keep that in mind today, and sometimes when these waterspouts form offshore, they can move inland and they typically dissipate pretty quick, but we just want you mindful of that today.
Yeah, that's a good point there, Kelly. You can see we are getting some thunderstorms starting to develop out over the Gulf, but like Alan was saying a few minutes ago, most of the activity is focused over land. We have that recent new tornado warning that includes Escambia County and Santa Rosa County. You can see the main storm of concern right here. It's a solid 25 miles or so north of Pensacola, and this is moving towards the east, probably going to pass just to the north of Milton, at least that part of the storm that potentially could bring some rotation in it right now. I'll go ahead and switch over to our velocity right here, severe winds. You can see, as I've been explaining to you all morning, you can see where the red and the green meet. That is where we potentially could be seeing some rotation. That red is air moving towards the east. I'll illustrate that for you here. Air moving towards the east, and then that green is air moving towards the west. So that is where we potentially could be seeing some rotation. There's Barth right there, Brickton. This is now moved to the east of Bay Springs. So once you get to the west and behind this line, it's important to note that you are in the clear. So Bay Springs mainly in the clear. Right now, this would be right over Barth and Brickton. I'll go ahead and clear that off, and we can go ahead and see what our radar, where our radar is showing the strongest rotation is right now. I've been showing this to you all morning. Right along Highway 97, where you see that brighter green right there, that is where radar is picking up where there could be rotation. Again, this is radar, basically a radar indicated tornado. It's not confirmed, but radar is detecting some rotation right now right over Highway 97. There is Pine Barren where Highway 29 is, and this is going to continue to move towards the east. Mason Road, you can see just to the northeast of that center of rotation. So if you're in any of these areas, you need to be seeking shelter. Right now, that area of rotation would be right over State Highway 97 and moving east towards Pine Barren and Chumuckla, and also eventually down to Allentown along Route 87. And again, this is moving to the east at 45 miles an hour, and this will expire at 12 o'clock in noontime today. I'll go ahead and put a track on it for you. This is continuing to move to the east at 45 miles an hour. So you can see Pine Barren and Barth, it's basically on top of you right now. It's going to be there within the next few minutes or so. And then Chumuckla in the next 11 minutes. Allentown, 27 Point Baker, about 27 minutes or so as this continues to move to the east at 45 miles an hour. So this is a progressive storm. Radar indicated potentially could be looking at a tornado here in the far northwestern portion of the Florida Panhandle right now. That center of rotation over northern Escambia County, about 15 miles or a little bit more than that north of Cantonment along U.S. Highway 29 here. And we're going to switch it on back to radar. You can see this is the rainfall that we're looking at right now. Everyone experiencing heavy rain from Andalusia down towards Daphne. This is that line of storms that is producing heavy rainfall and at times some gusty straight line winds in that area along that line of storms, and this is moving towards the east. So south and east of the line, Pensacola, Fort Walton Beach, Crestview, Milton, Foley and Fairhope, you still have to be concerned about the potential for some strong to severe storms. But then once you get to the northwest, if you're in places like Saraland, Mount Vernon, Washington County, Green George County, you all are in the clear. Once you get behind that front, you're out of the loop for severe weather, but we do have that potential still ahead of that line. I'm going to send it back over to Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals with another update.
Yep, we'll focus again on those tornado warnings. 2 of them now in the Florida Panhandle. Things are quiet across southwestern Alabama and southern Mississippi. One warning, the smaller box, basically connected to the other. When we talk about low pressure and you talk about storm systems, if you look at right in the center of the screen along US 29, you can see a comma shape in that radar display. What that shows, it's like a miniature region of low pressure where this is sort of like a cold front, and as it moves forward, it's going to punch into the air, make the air rise, and that will keep the thunderstorms growing strong. It also tells you that there's possible rotation here in that severe thunderstorm, which is also suspect for producing a tornado. That's why there is a tornado warning. This threat right now crossing US 29 between Brickton and Bogia, pretty close to the community of Barth. If you're on Mason Road, you need to take shelter now. Barth Road, same story. This will be pretty close also to Chumuckla Springs as it moves from Escambia County, Florida into Santa Rosa County across the Escambia River once it crosses US 29. Take shelter there. Chumuckla, as you heard, you are in front of it. You have some time to prepare. And even south of it, from Brickton toward County Road 195 and Quintet, same thing there. Very heavy rain, that threat of damaging straight line wind, even if it's not a rotating wind. Those are spots where you've got to be on guard and be prepared. This is the tornado warning that goes until the middle of the day, until noon. It could be canceled earlier, but right now it is projected until noon. Southwest of that, even though you're not under a tornado warning, still a severe thunderstorm warning. If you are back basically south of Duck Place Road toward County Road 87, and that extends back across central Baldwin County, rather, just south of Interstate 10. So very heavy rain in Loxley. Robertsdale is just to your north. If you're in Montrose, Daphne, thunderstorms, typical thunderstorms, but more that will be crossing Mobile Bay, heading toward Daphne and Belforest. Spanish Fort, you might get another round of heavy rain. And at the same time, downtown Mobile is quiet in the clear. Quiet is what you want to see and say for southern Mississippi and most of southwestern Alabama. But the focus area right now is that one strong thunderstorm crossing US 29 in Escambia County. If you're on the coastline, close to the coast, in a condo looking out over the Gulf, do watch for the possibility of a waterspout coming toward you. And by the way, in a condo, it's the same safety rules if you think a tornado is on the way. Get away from the windows, number one, and get to, say, for example, a bathroom. You just want to get away from the windows, or you could also get into a hallway, but a hallway that doesn't have windows. So you always just want to mainly get away from those windows and protect yourself in a fairly small room. Projection, 11:30, basically now into 12:30, it all quickly goes away. And that's what we want. The winds will be shifting this afternoon. The threat, it's just a couple more hours where we all have to be on guard, where we all have to be alert, and then we're into a much calmer, gentler weather pattern. As we approach noontime, along with Kelly Foster and Kyle Hansen, we've been tracking this severe weather for the last hour and a half. It's a situation where tornadoes could develop. We have not had confirmed reports of tornadoes. We have had reports of wind damage, though, from earlier today in parts of George County, Mississippi, Clark County, Alabama, and we're still waiting and listening for more reports to come in. But here's our focus area, very quickly moving region, a small, tiny region of low pressure, which is strong enough to produce a tornado. For that one, the tornado warning goes until 12 o'clock. Brickton to Quintet, strong straight line winds, very likely. The possibility of rotation over and near the community of Barth. So in that location, take your safe spot right now. That tornado warning goes into central Santa Rosa County. So Whitfield, Berrydale, places like Allentown, Point Baker, you've got some time, but not a lot of time. Make your plan, make your space, be ready to take it. If this holds together, it is a threatening storm crossing right now the Escambia River. So just now, US 29, the Escambia River. Brownsdale, New York, Shumukla, you all are in the immediate threat area, so take your shelter now. Just give it literally no more than 5 minutes, and then you can get back out as this continues to head toward the east. That, again, tornado warning goes until noon today. Mason Road, Pine Barren Road. You're on the tail end of this, so very quickly you're going to go from very heavy rain to no rain. And once the rain stops there, you're done. That's it. It's moving eastward easily at about 40 miles an hour. Some of these are moving a little bit faster. The tail end of this extends down toward US 29, Quintet, County Road 196 in Escambia County, south of Molino Road. Those are also areas of strong thunderstorms. And then the severe thunderstorm warning picks up on that north of Muskogee along Alec Road, and then back into basically the I-10 corridor in east central Baldwin County. West central Baldwin County, Daphne, Spanish Fort, Malbus, scattered thunderstorms, nothing too far out of the ordinary. And then in the bigger picture, there you see the rain, the thunderstorms moving toward steadily eastward. The National Weather Service monitors these. They compile data from our emergency management community. And to this point, is there any new information coming in from the Weather Service?
Yeah, they canceled the tornado warning that was issued for Escambia County, Florida. So the storm has moved out of the area, so that warning has been canceled. We do have a marine warning in place from Pensacola all the way to Pascagoula, and that marine warning is going to be in effect until about 1:15 this afternoon. There's a lot of dangerous lightning out there associated with this. That marine warning does include not only Pensacola to Pascagoula out 20 nautical miles, the northern part of Mobile Bay, the Mississippi Sound, southern Mobile Bay, the Perdido Bay area. So be mindful of that. Wind gusts about 34 knots or greater, and as Alan mentioned, we could be looking at some water spouts with this. So again, watching for that, but all hands on deck with this tornado warning for Escambia County, Alabama. Very dangerous situation, especially you can see near the Pine Barren area, the Barth area of Escambia County, Alabama. And again, this is moving at a pretty good clip at about 45 miles per hour. So we're going to continue to watch that very closely. We still have a tornado watch in place until about 3 o'clock this afternoon as well. We also have a wind advisory. We're going to have winds gusting over 35 miles per hour for our viewing area. That wind advisory until about 7 o'clock tonight. Not confirmed at this point, just in from the National Weather Service, looking near Baranow Park. They are looking at some storm damage there. So again, we will continue to watch that. Not confirmed at this point, but again, 80-mile-per-hour winds near Baranow Park in Escambia County, Florida. So definitely a lot of strong wind gusts associated with this line of storms. Now, in Baldwin County, that is along Interstate 10, where where we have that severe thunderstorm warning till 11:45, and again that tornado warning for Escambia County, Alabama, impacting, moving very close towards the Allentown area and Point Baker along Highway 87. That will happen in short order. But again, watching this very closely, Pine Barren, Barth area, Shamuckley along Gin Road and Shamuckla Highway. Definitely you need to make sure that you are taking cover at this point, centermost portion of your home. Strongest part of that low-level circulation entering northwest Santa Rosa County, Florida. That's east of Pine Barren, still moving toward Allentown as we speak. Mobile, National Weather Service continuing that severe thunderstorm warning for Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Baldwin County until about 11:45 this morning. Alan, I'm going to go ahead and toss it your way.
Yeah, that's right. And again, fortunately, we're dealing with one tornado warning within a larger area of severe thunderstorm warnings. It's a narrow corridor of weather threat from Baldwin County, essentially along Interstate 10. And then once you get into Escambia, Santa Rosa, and Okaloosa counties, the threat right now is just north of Interstate 10. So those are locations where you've got to be on guard. We still do have isolated thunderstorms elsewhere. And it's not to say there is zero threat, it's just to say that you're less likely to see what we've been looking at for our inland counties for most of the day. So there you see the outline in red. That is your tornado warning covering basically central Santa Rosa County. Either side of that, east and west, severe thunderstorm warnings for thunderstorms that still could produce winds that can gust 50, 60 miles an hour. Remember your tornado safety rules. You know them, but a lot of times you don't think you have to use them, and you don't want to wait until it's too late to make that decision. So be prepared to take action to get to that safe place in the middle part of your home, the safest possible place that you can find. So now we're looking more closely. Shamuckla is in the middle of the screen, and that signature in radar shows very clearly there's rotation in that thunderstorm that potentially can reach down to the ground as a tornado. The tornado warning goes until 12 o'clock noon. It extends eastward and eastward toward Highway 87, southward to Point Baker. So places like Allentown, Whitfield, Berrydale, you've got maybe 20 minutes at most to prepare for this. On the other hand, from Cobbtown southward toward Point Baker, a little less time than that. And obviously New York, Florida, Shamuckla, right now Shamuckla, anywhere near Shamuckla, take your shelter, your safe spot, and then a little bit farther southward. So in Barth, Pine Barren, it's over. You're okay. Take a look outside to the east, see what you can find. If it's an interesting photo, share it with us on social media. We'd love to share it with our viewers to let people see what's happening. So Molino, you're also quiet. Back into Baldwin County, there's Interstate 10 in the lower part of the screen, and then just north of that is where we're looking at pretty heavy rain, places like Alec Road, County Road 87, and then as you get closer to places like Robertsdale, Loxley, you've got a break in the weather there, ordinary thunderstorm heading toward Malbus, and then scattered thunderstorms back toward Brookley Field. Of course, that delays flight traffic. All of this has an impact on flight traffic. The bigger picture, northern Mobile County, Washington, Clark, if you're in George and Greene County, everything's good. You're done with your active weather. Emergency managers are still assessing the damage that we had seen earlier, so it takes a while sometimes for the data to trickle in. But we do know strong south wind. That's probably the first thing most of you noticed when you stepped out or woke up this morning. South wind kicking up the waves, and it's that south wind that brings in moisture from the Gulf and feeds the thunderstorms. So that's part of what we're dealing with today, but the wind will shift later this afternoon. Quieting in Mobile County, 69 degrees, dew point in the mid-60s, and it's just going to be a matter of hours before we are all done with this, before everything is back to where you want it to be. By the middle of the afternoon, it'll all be history. There again, one tornado warning for the NBC 15 area, severe thunderstorm warnings for northern Okaloosa County, northern Santa Rosa County, parts of southeastern Escambia County, Alabama, and then a small portion of east central Baldwin County, also under a severe thunderstorm warning. Do note from Grand Bay back down toward north of Pascagoula, there are a couple of thunderstorms there that are strong but not unusually strong. Until noon, though, that red box, that is your tornado warning. Another one, if this system keeps that same pattern, that same strong comma signature of rotation, another tornado warning could be issued farther eastward. But it's literally, we're tracking, we're watching, we're seeing what happens when the radar updates, we see a new signature. And what you see on radar, minute by minute, it's something that has never been seen before. It's always a little bit different, even though it looks very similar from time to time. Northeastern Escambia County, Alabama, you're good, but it's the southeastern part of the Escambia County where you are looking at that possibility of a severe thunderstorm. But this is the focus area. Shumukla still under that threat of rotation, straight line wind from a severe thunderstorm. Very slowly will it head, it's passing mostly south of New York, but Point Baker, Allentown, Cobbtown, and even Whitfield are all ahead of this severe thunderstorm that has the likelihood of producing at least a brief tornado. And even when they do produce tornadoes, you never know for certain if it's staying on the ground or if it's moving up and down, if it is getting smaller, larger, widening, weakening, but it is something to take very seriously.
Oh yes, definitely need to take this situation seriously there, Alan. We get that tornado warning still in effect until noontime for parts of Santa Rosa County in Florida. This is now passing just to the north of Milton. Now go ahead, Kelly.
Oh, no, you're fine. We do have this new information: severe thunderstorm warning, southeastern Baldwin County, also southwestern Okaloosa County, southern Santa Rosa County, and south central Escambia County, Florida. We have a brand new severe thunderstorm warning in place for those 4 counties until 12:15. This is brand new information with this line of storms coming in. So we're going to continue to watch this for you. The greatest impacts right now would be winds gusting up to 60 miles per hour. So locations impacted with this brand new severe thunderstorm warning would be the Pensacola area, also Ferry Pass, Brent, West Pensacola, Inslee, Warrington, the Gonzales area, Pace, Milton, Baghdad, and Loxley. So we're going to be watching these areas extremely closely as this is going to be moving eastward at a very good clip. So Satsuma Heights in 2 minutes, Pace in about 8, Gonzales 22, East Milton in 24, Baghdad in about 26, and Galt City in about 27 minutes. So again, this severe thunderstorm warning covering several counties right now until about 12:15 this afternoon. So we want you ready for it. Make sure that you have a way to receive watches and warnings. If you can't watch us on air, you can, if you need to step away, watch us on your phone as well. Here's a look at the radar right now. And again, we're watching this line of storms impacting the northern part of the Florida Panhandle. Apparently, I think we're looking at Lynx 1. If we could switch this to Lynx 2, we could get, there we go. Here's a look at where we have this brand new severe thunderstorm warning. It's in place until 12:15. We're talking Escambia County, Alabama, Santa Rosa, Okaloosa County as well. Again, it will expire at 12:15. And the biggest hazards from this are going to be winds gusting up to about 60, possibly even 70 miles per hour. So you definitely want to make sure you have a way to receive watches and warnings. We also have a tornado watch in place until about 3 o'clock for our viewing area. Have a lot of warm air surging in from the Gulf of Mexico, moving at a good clip. And of course, with a cold front slamming across the area, winds are going to be coming in a different direction. So that's why along this line of storms, we are beginning to see some definite spin here and some gusty winds. And that's why we continue to have that tornado warning in place for Escambia County, Alabama. So that's a look. You can see we have several severe thunderstorm warnings, including the Florida Panhandle. We have a tornado warning in place for Escambia County, Alabama. And then we have a severe thunderstorm warning as well, lifting up towards the Bruton area. Kyle, if we could zoom in a little bit, maybe get some areas that are getting impacted right now. Shumukla, this is beginning to move out of your area, headed towards the New York area. Allentown, also you can see Point Baker. You're going to be be in the line, and it looks like this is where we're seeing that possible rotation right now near the Chumuckla area. The Florida Panhandle, though, dealing with the potential for those damaging winds, 60 to 70 miles per hour with that severe thunderstorm warning. Again, this is where we're seeing that possible rotation. All this action just to the east of Chumuckla. It's moving at a rapid rate towards the east at about 45 miles per hour. Allentown, you have 7 minutes to take cover. Spring Hill, 14 minutes. Indian Ford, 16. Floridale, 23, and Kelly's Mill, 27 minutes to take cover with this tornado warning that is going to continue to track its way eastbound. Keep in mind, there is going to be some heavy rain. Now's not the time to take pictures. A lot of these storms are going to be rain wrapped, but we continue to have a tornado warning for Escambia County, Alabama. A very strong rotation here located on the radar, and again moving at a very fast pace. If you're upstairs, go downstairs, get to the centermost portion of your home, away from windows. It's not going to be lasting long with it moving at this rapid rate. Notice all the heavy rain as well extending into the northern part of our Florida Panhandle counties right now. You can see the heavy downpours from Cantonment all the way back towards Wallace. Again, all this action moving towards the east, but leaning a little bit towards the south and east. So you can see right now impacting 90, the Florida town area. Beulah, this should skim your area. Pensacola Ferry Pass in this as well. So this also includes Escambia Bay. And we also have a marine warning in place from Pensacola to Pascagoula. Mobile Bay is included. Perdido Bay, we could also be looking at waterspouts. So here's a look right now. You can see the line of storms from Robertsdale to Milton, all the way over towards the Crestview area. And this is going to continue to push at a rapid rate right along Interstate 10 from Milton to Crestview with these gusty winds, with these storms gusting up to 70 miles per hour. Looks like we are seeing some tree damage. This is in George County, Mississippi, near the state line, right along Mason Refuge Road. I'm familiar with that area, Mason Basin Road. It's a little bit of a tongue twister there. This is in George County, Mississippi. George County, of course, our neighboring county in Mississippi, and that is a look at some damage. They have crews on the scene. They're trying to clear the road. They have some tree damage there. Looks like some trees got tangled up and snapped, and they have some crews there working to clear the scene. We could also be looking at damage in Alabama and Florida as well with this line of storms. So we want to make sure that you are ready, and that's a clear indication why we want you home. We want you in a sturdy building. We don't want you out and about. Again, you don't have to be under a tornado warning to have that kind of a damage. We're talking severe thunderstorm warnings that were issued where we had winds gusting up to 70 miles per hour. Again, that was a look at damage in George County, Mississippi. So storms right now along Highway 29. You can see just north of Ferry Pass, and between Ferry Pass and Atmore, Highway 29 there, dangerous downpours. Milton, Florida, dealing with that as well. Right along Interstate 10, they are getting hammered with blinding downpours. And then just to the north of there, that's where we have that tornado warning. And with that rotating storm, it is rapidly racing eastbound at about 45 miles per hour. So Allentown, under the gun, Point Baker, you're dealing with some dangerous downpours there. And again, we could very well see that tornado warning extended, but that may move out of our viewing area. Floridale right now, you are really about to get hit with some heavy rain. So just be ready for it. We're going to have some dangerous downpours that will definitely disrupt your day, some dangerous lightning as well. It would really be a good time if you were dealing with the lightning storm outside of your home or a severe thunderstorm. If your phone is working and you can watch us on your phone, do that. If you're dealing with lightning outside, we don't want your television to go in a lightning storm. But meanwhile, take a look. Heavy downpours from Point Baker up towards Allentown, all the way towards Dixonville, but Florida Town, just in between Florida Town and Wallace, Florida. Look at the red and pink there on the radar. Again, this line of storm has been very dangerous. It unleashed damaging winds in George County, Mississippi, near Basin Refuge Road. That is in George County. They have crews on the scene. Take a look at the size of trees there that were damaged in that storm as that system raced across George George County, Mississippi. Tornado warnings there. They also had severe thunderstorm warnings there, and that same line worked its way across Mobile County. Right now, we continue to track storms in our viewing area, but it's the eastern quadrant that is currently getting just slammed with dangerous thunderstorms right now. And again, from Ferry Pace over towards Milton and Crestview, right along I-10, impacting East Milton as we speak. Baghdad in about 1 minute, Galt City in 1 minute, Kelly's Mill in 2, Baker in about 3, and then we will continue to watch this all the way down towards even Wright, Florida, if this holds together. So southern zones of our Florida Panhandle, south of I-10, quiet for now, but some heavy downpours will be raking across your area, and you should be in the clear by the middle of the afternoon. But until then, we want you home. Watch us on television, watch us on your phone, and get to that safe zone in your home that is away from windows, and definitely you don't want to be out in this. We're going to continue to scour all of our resources and bring you the latest in terms of damage across our viewing area. But as we take a look, this is a look at the eastern half of our viewing area. We are still under a tornado warning right now as we speak. And this is, as you can see, just near the Milton area. We are looking at a tornado warning currently in place, and this is near the Allentown area, Point Baker, and this is going to continue to work its way towards the east, Spring Hill, Indian Ford. You definitely need to be taking cover as well, because that warning kind of ends right on top of you. But where we're seeing the worst of it right now is continuing in between Point Baker and Allentown right now, where we're still dealing with a tornado warning. Keep in mind, we have a tornado watch until 3 o'clock, so make sure you have a way to receive watches and warnings. If you're not watching us on your phone throughout the day through our app, we're going to have the latest weathercast there, but also days like today when we have watches and warnings, download that app. All you have to do is type in NBC 15 weather at the App Store on Google Play, and you can watch us. You can track these storms with us. But here's a look right now near the Milton area between Jay, Florida and Milton. We are under a tornado warning currently. Again, what you're looking at on the other side of your screen is a live look at Basin Refuge Road. This is in George County, Mississippi, near Highway 63. They did have some damage due to winds. I'm going to step off screen, and I'm going to hand it over to our Chief Meteorologist, Alan Seal, who has been watching the system very closely. Alan?
Yeah, and I'll ask if my director can show that video of Basin Road full screen so the viewers can get a better sense of it. Now, our photojournalist Melvin Todd is on the scene there, and this is the aftermath of some of the wind damage. What's interesting, if you may not have picked up on that, but a shadow just moved across the workers there, and it's telling you how quickly the clouds are moving. In the background, gray clouds. The tops of those trees are sheared in one direction, and it's always difficult to tell from just looking at video whether it was a tornado or straight line wind. But what is common, you see siding. It looks like skirting from a mobile home in the tree. Other trees are snapped, and an individual tree, oftentimes people say it twisted. Well, tornadoes don't twist individual trees. They will twist stands of trees, but it's a much larger area. Obviously, some impact to that area. The trees are leaning to the right, telling us that the wind was blowing from left to right across the picture. And in the distance, those power lines. So if you run into this situation in your community where the power lines go down, don't get out, don't try to deal with them, because they still may be electrified. This is George County, Mississippi, from damage roughly about 10 o'clock this morning as severe thunderstorms moved through there. Basin Refuge Road, and the weather itself there now is fairly quiet.
Hey, Alan, I got an update for you. This is, I have a viewer on Twitter has showed a video from this morning that there was a large water spout over Mobile Bay. We're working on actually getting that video pulled up here in just a bit. Again, we do have marine warnings in place too, and the National Weather Service has said that it may be difficult for them to for warning these right now. But that was over Mobile Bay not too long ago. We should be getting that video up any second now, if we can. If there it is, yeah. So that is courtesy of Kelly Woods. You can see there in the middle of the screen, that is a water spout over Mobile Bay, and it was not too long ago. I got the video sent to me about 11:30, who knows when it was, Bay, and definitely have the potential to be looking at some water spouts through the rest of the rest of the morning and into the early afternoon as we see these strong to severe storms.
Yeah, and just as a note, with those marine areas, a lot of times it's hard to track and for the National Weather Service to warn for those areas because these thunderstorms just pack up really, really quick. So more weak water spouts can't be ruled out, but again, everyone needs to be mindful of that. We will keep you up to date.
All right, and we are approaching 10 noon, but there still could be more. Here's the bigger picture of what we're looking at. That one red flashing box north of Milton, Florida, that is our only tornado warning in the NBC 15 area. That's the spot where the thunderstorm has basically held together in the recent past and continues to hold together on a track that's going to take it toward the east. Kyle, if you would, start my computer.
Oh, yeah, we just need our director to switch it to links one. There we go.
All right.
Yeah.
Little technical issue there, but nonetheless, the one tornado warning I was talking about just north of Milton, Florida. There's Milton in the lower left of your screen. Rowville, Florida, northward. Those are the spots right now where the main threat is. Now, there are still thunderstorms that extend back to the west. Gonzales, Florida, Quintet, Beulah, back across the Perdido River, and then a couple of thunderstorms, one of them between Foley and Yukon, between Weeks Bay and Foley, another one over Mobile Bay, and these are the type that could produce that type of water spout that you just saw. Now, typically, most water spouts, once they hit land, they dissipate, but because these are medium-strength thunderstorms, they could hold together a little longer. So just be prepared if you're in Bon Secours, Oyster Bay, near Weeks Bay for a threat maybe of a water spout moving ashore. In Mobile County, no warnings, but one strong thunderstorm. It's just exiting Dixon Corner and Coden. So Bailey's Corner, Deschamps, Fowl River, Fish River, you're about to get another long period of downpours. At the beaches, strong south wind, very clear signature with the waves picking up like that. This will not last too much longer. Most of it will be focused in the Florida Panhandle in the near future, and roughly within about 2.5 hours, it should all be done. It should be out of our picture. But in the wake of it, we'll still assess what sorts of damage, if any, that we are seeing. Live view looking toward the downtown Mobile skyline from here on Azalea Road, sky brighter, calmer. Now here's the big picture. Southern Mississippi, everything's good. Most of southwestern Alabama, no threats, although there are a couple of lingering thunderstorms in South Mobile County, also into central Baldwin County, but the area that we are focusing on is that red flashing box north of Milton. That's the tornado warning that goes until noon. The rotation right along Highway 87 near Allentown, southward to Point Baker. So if you were in Allentown, Indian Ford, and even Milton, even though in Milton you're not technically in the tornado warning, you want to get to stay in the middle part of your house, be safe about it, but especially Allentown and Indian Ford towards Spring Hill. That's where your big threat is. Spring Hill Road, Paul Barnes Road, those are locations where there's a threat, and then eastward toward Red Rock Road. Notice how quickly this is moving toward the east, crossing County Road 191 rather, in the Florida Panhandle, and then a little bit more southward, Rowville, you've got a little bit of break. Milton, downpour, heavy rain, quick street flooding, nuisance sort of flooding. There's the wider picture from Laurel Hill to Okaloo to Auburn, severe thunderstorm, but it's that one spot north of Milton near Indian Ford approaching Floridale that you have to watch out for the threat of a tornado. And then there's the other large area of heavy rain. Now it's all north of downtown Pensacola, and at this point it's generally moving eastward, so if you're in downtown Pensacola, you're okay for now, but there could be more thunderstorms later crossing over from Alabama into the Florida Panhandle. Beulah, Florida, downpours. You're going to get lightning, you're going to get some strong wind, and then isolated thunderstorms will linger. Notice these are all south of Interstate 10, closer to Mobile Bay, with heavier rain picking up now. It's a little more intense, pretty close to both Fish River and Fowl River and Dog River. I said fish, but I meant Dog River and Fish River. So places from like Coden all the way over to Faustinus and Bell Fountain, that's where just stay in the middle part of your home for the short term. Maybe we can go back to George County, Mississippi. Do we still have that shot up with Melvin Todd? Yeah, so this is the problem with severe weather. Once it's done, it's all about cleaning up and trying to get things back in order. This is Basin Road in George County, where earlier this morning severe thunderstorms moved through. Not yet confirmed whether this was tornado damage or straight line.
No, it's not confirmed, but we did actually have someone has reported seeing a funnel on the ground in George County, Mississippi earlier today. That was around approximately 9:30, 10 o'clock time frame when that warning came down. So it was a confirmed tornado by a person on the ground earlier today. So, but the National Weather Service, of course, is going to go out and survey to see if this is actually tornado damage or if it were straight line wind damage. Probably not till tomorrow. That's when they typically do this. But of course, right now you can see that has cleared out of the area. So the story is, once you get behind this, you're in George County. Yes, you are left with some damage right now. You are in the clear, though. Really, once you get to downtown Mobile and north and west of there, most of us are really in the clear at that point. Right now, where we are concerned about more potential severe weather is going to be in the Pensacola area and along parts of the Florida Panhandle right now, where we still have an active tornado warning until noontime. And if we can take radar back up here on links 2 to show you the latest information right now, the latest radar information where that tornado warning is. Right now, it's getting to the tail end of it. That does expire at noon. This is the only tornado warning we are dealing with right now, and I believe Kelly's got something for me.
Yes, they are going to let that expire at noon for Santa Rosa County, but they want to remind folks that they're going to keep with some strong winds. They're still going to have that wind threat over north central and northeastern Santa Rosa County. Winds could gust up to 80 miles per hour, and it won't be long before that large bow echo enters into Okaloosa County, Florida. So possibly even eventually the Crestview area. They're all in the path of this bow echo. So again, strong wind gusts up to 80 miles per hour. We're going to be watching that super closely, but the tornado warning for Santa Rosa is going to be expiring, but that severe thunderstorm warning will continue with that strong wind threat.
Yeah, no, so that tornado warning will be canceled. It appears, if you put on our shear rate right here, the rotation detector, it shows that rotation has been weakening. So that is some good news that we are not really looking at that tornado warning still active technically till noon, but they are not going to extend that warning. Unlikely that anything would be on the ground right now, as it seems that rotation is falling apart. But we still do have the threat of frequent lightning, the threat of potentially damaging straight line winds as high as 80 miles an hour, as that is a strong signature that we are seeing out of Santa Rosa County and eventually moving into Okaloosa County as well. I'm going to go ahead and update the warnings in terms of we have the tornado warning up here, but we still have a few severe thunderstorm warnings right now. You can see in place for parts of Santa Rosa County, southern Escambia County, Florida now, the Pensacola area, all under a severe thunderstorm warning. And now we have a severe thunderstorm warning as well for parts of Okaloosa County in the Florida Panhandle, including Crestview, for the potential for damaging straight line winds out of that as we approach the noontime hour. But the good news is that this tornado warning is going to be allowed to expire, so we are no longer going to be dealing with that as that tornado warning starts to wind down at noontime now. So not really looking at any threat of tornadoes, but at this point, straight line winds certainly still a possibility. Damaging straight line winds still possible in parts of the Florida Panhandle, including Pensacola, Ferry Pass, also parts of Okaloosa County as well. We got Kelly standing by at the weather wall for an update.
Hey, Kyle. Well, we are going to continue to watch things right now. We are continuing to monitor the severe thunderstorm warnings that are in place and possibly even a water spout near the Bon Secours Bay area. So be mindful of that. Conditions are going to be conducive for water spouts offshore and damaging wind gusts up to about 80 miles per hour. So we'll be watching that ever so closely. Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals is here, and he is tracking all these dangerous weather conditions across our area.
Yeah, and I just wanted to remind people who may just be joining us, you've been watching NBC 15 live coverage with Kelly Foster, Kyle Hansen, and myself, Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals.
We're going to begin our new newscast right now with a live look at George County, Mississippi. Right now, you're looking at damage from a confirmed tornado that touched down earlier this morning. We're going to go ahead to Gulf Coast Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals, who has more of what's going on right now. Alan.
Well, right now at the top of the hour, the tornado warning, the last tornado warning that was in effect just expired, but there still is some threatening weather, mostly in our Florida Panhandle counties. Notice in yellow, those flashing boxes are severe thunderstorm warnings, and I am updated right here. A new tornado warning, this one now for southwestern Baldwin County. So severe thunderstorm warnings, Santa Rosa County, Okaloosa counties, and then a severe thunderstorm warning in extreme southwestern Baldwin County. So Kyle or Kelly, if either of you would go ahead and take control of the computer number 2, zoom in on that tornado warning.
Yeah,
so there are 2 small thunderstorms within that tornado warning area. One of them, moving just onshore, has a threat of producing or having had produced a funnel cloud. Now, these are very small. Either way, that one is now moving onshore. The other one, pretty close to Foley. So that one that's moving onshore, we'll go in closer on that and focus on it, because this is what we've been seeing this morning, isolated thunderstorms, some of which have become strong and severe. This one is just north of Bon Secours. We'll go in even a little closer and try to get, there we go. So if you're on Norris Lane, if you're on Sherman Road, you are ahead of a thunderstorm that potentially will hit the coast as a water spout and then cross inland as a weak, small, brief tornado. So those locations, south of Bay Road West, this is south of Bay Road, it is north of County Road 49 and extreme southwestern Baldwin County, right there on the coastline of Mobile Bay. This tornado warning, what time does this go to?
So this goes into 1 o'clock. So it's because of a water spout, and I can read off some information here.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so tornado warning, there was a water spout that is expected to move onshore. So water spout was spotted with this, and they get a new, there's another tornado warning now for Okaloosa County, by the way. But let's first get to this one that we just found out about. So this is a tornado warning for southwestern Baldwin County. At 11:58, a severe thunderstorm capable of producing a tornado was located 5 miles southwest of Magnolia Springs, moving east at 40 miles an hour. This was indicated as this was spotted as a water spout, and this is potentially moving back onshore right now. Alan, I'm going to go switch over to analysis mode a different mode here, so we can show you maybe some of the track this and show some of the rotation in this storm.
All right, give us a quick track, and then we need to get to Okaloosa County for the new tornado warning.
So this one is moving east at 40 miles an hour, or approximately there. You can see Bon Secours. This is 5 minutes away. Alberta, 19 minutes away. It would be passing probably just to the north of Orange Beach within 20 minutes. So that is the first tornado warning there. But now we do have another tornado warning that has been issued again. You know, we were tracking this thing through Santa Rosa County that were just going till noon. They said that they were not going to continue that tornado warning, but it appears as though that rotation has strengthened, and this is until 12:45 in Okaloosa County. If you want to go ahead and take it away, Alan.
All right, and what's coming off the printer right now? We're getting new information from the National Weather Service as we focus in on this new tornado warning that goes until 12:45 for a threat right now that's pretty close to Floridale. Now, this is that same threatening storm we were looking at earlier that crossed Shumukla, places to the west of Point Baker, and now this new tornado warning is straddling Interstate 10, Highway 90, Crestview to Auburn to Campton, you all are in front of that. Places like Floridale right now, you are in the immediate threat area. So another tornado warning where you need to get to your safe place.
That's right. That tornado warning, Alan, that you were just mentioning is located about 6 miles east of Rowville or 10 miles northeast of Milton, and it's moving at a good clip towards the east at about 35 miles per hour. So again, this is a radar indicated rotating storm. It's going to be near Baker at about 1225, Crestview around 1235. So Interstate 10 is definitely going to be impacted by this tornado warning. Alan?
All right. So again, on the wider picture, we'll back up a little bit, and what we'll show you is southern Mississippi, everything's good. If you're in southwestern Alabama, mostly good. That one little potential tornado-producing thunderstorm now moving northward into Baldwin County, just north of Bon Secour, and then another area of strong thunderstorms in central Mobile Bay. Even that potentially could produce waterspouts. What you see in yellow, these are severe thunderstorm warnings. They cover basically northern Okaloosa County, central Santa Rosa County, southern Escambia County, Florida, not quite down to the city of Pensacola. The most active weather is generally right along Interstate 10, and in the middle of that is one tornado warning. So we'll go back in a little closer on that to give you perspective. This tornado warning, which is in Santa Rosa County, goes until 12:45, just north of Eglin Air Force Base. Places, Okaloosa County, I'm sorry, Crestview, Galliver, Baker, Floridale, and even places like Kelly's Mill. Those are communities right now that are in front of this strong thunderstorm that is capable of producing a tornado. These have been moving eastward at about 40 miles an hour on average, so they are steady movers, and that means if you're ahead of it, you don't have as much time as you think to plan for it. So definitely do the best you can right now to be prepared. We'll just go southward to the severe thunderstorms and then head down toward Pensacola. So Parkerville to Broxton, very heavy rain there. You may also get some hail where you see the brighter dark, going from dark red to pink. Those are locations where you could get some hail from this, and then things sort of taper once you get past of Riverview to Beulah. So that's the latest update. What we'll do is we're going to go back to Jamie for just a moment to give you some more of the wrap-up of the news of the day, and then we're going to come right back and give you more information on what's happening with our weather.
All right, Alan. Code Red, folks, is our exclusive way of letting you know when disruptive weather is headed your way. And now is a good time to download our free NBC 15 News app to stay alert to the changing weather conditions. Just search WPMI Weather in your app store to download. And due to today's weather, Thomas Hospital in Fairhope is rescheduling all COVID-19 testing. Testing will resume tomorrow. And happening right now, a meeting is being held to discuss how to enforce limits on the number of people inside stores. Mayor Sandy Stimpson told us Monday that the city would be coming up with a plan to make it happen. All right, having some technical difficulties there with that, but we do know that he is saying, okay, we are getting it now. Let's take a listen.
Within the next day or 48 hours, we will be coming out with a directive to those businesses that are remaining open to help them set a limit on how many people will be allowed inside their store at any given time.
We have a crew at the meeting, and we'll be bringing you the newest details tonight on NBC 15 News. And we understand that our chief meteorologist, Alan Seals, has some more information that he would like to share with us. Alan, I'm going to go ahead and turn it back over to you.
Yeah, and I'll have Kelly run my computer for me. Just want to update folks on the current two tornado warnings that we have. One is a very small area, and that's the area in far southwestern Baldwin County. The other one is in central Okaloosa County. So two tornado warnings linger as these strong thunderstorms continue to move from west to east across the area. And what I'll do, Kelly, I'll advance forward, and then you'll be able to put some tracks on these. So in flashing yellow, these are the severe thunderstorm warnings. Okaloosa County, Santa Rosa County, southern Escambia County, Florida. In flashing red, those are your tornado warnings. One of them basically in Okaloosa County, the other one in southwestern Baldwin County between Weeks Bay and Bon Secour. That one is waterspout likely moving on shore as a small tornado. So things have quieted in Allentown and Whitfield, And this one, we can move this back over and put a track on it. The main threat area of this thunderstorm right now seems to be right along Highway 90 between Gallagher and Floridale. What I don't see is a strong circulation, but there's very obviously heavy rain and the possibility of some hail from this as it moves toward the east. When we interrogate or study the radar, we look for these different patterns and symbols, and what we see is there's broad rotation here, but it's not a very tight rotation, as we had seen with that other smaller severe thunderstorm over southwestern Baldwin County. So Holt, Gallagher, Kelly's Mill, Milligan, and Crestview, these are locations where even if it's not a rotating wind, you potentially will see some strong straight line wind. Back into southwestern Baldwin County between Bon Secour and Weeks Bay, we'll see that same pattern, but you'll notice it's a little more compact. And that's right now crossing north of Bon Secour. It's not a very strong signature, but it's still strong enough that you should take shelter. We'll zoom in more and see some of the streets and communities here. So this is just west of Highway 59, right along County Road 16, approaching Keller Road, pretty close to Bon Secour. So anywhere within those locations, well to the west of Foley Beach Expressway, southwest of the community of Foley, you need to take shelter, give it a couple of minutes, and it will be gone, and then things will improve. We'll go through the next couple of hours with this same scenario of active weather, and what it means is you still need to be on guard if you're in the Florida Panhandle. If you are in, say, Washington County, Clark County, Monroe, George counties, things are okay as they assess and clean up. So one area of a tornado warning there, the other one back into Okaloosa County. We'll go back to the regular radar mode just to give people a sense of what's happening. South Mobile County now, things are quiet, which is good. We saw that one thunderstorm heading across Fowl River. That's now out of your picture. But the two tornado warnings, and then crossing Eglin Air Force Base, that's the signature of strong straight line winds. So Eglin easily will see winds 60, 70, maybe 80 miles an hour just from that one area of strong thunderstorms. In Crestview, we'll go in closer here because that thunderstorm is moving steadily. Not as strong of a signature, and we could, when we check our wind shear, we'll try the radar site at Eglin Air Force Base to see if that's having a different perspective. At the same time, new information is coming out from the National Weather Service. I'll step out and make sure I'm updated on what that is. It looks like a
New severe thunderstorm warning.
All right, new severe thunderstorm warning coming in from the National Weather Service. And this one,
That's for Okaloosa, Santa Rosa counties.
go ahead, Kyle.
Yeah, so this new severe thunderstorm warnings for Okaloosa, Okaloosa County, and also Santa Rosa County. We're talking the southern portion of both of those counties out ahead of that line of storms. That is for the potential for some 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. As Alan just showed you, and you can see there right on your screen, where you see those deep reds, even some purples there, right along that line and just ahead of it. That is where we are potentially seeing some strong straight-line winds that could be damaging. This is right around the area of Eglin Air Force Base. So southern, and that extends all the way down towards southeastern Santa Rosa County as well. And this includes Fort Walton Beach in Valparaiso, and also Niceville, too, in southern Okaloosa County. Let's see, we got another update from the National Weather Service here. That is a marine warning, and also the tornado warning in Baldwin County has now been canceled, as it has shown some weakening as that water spout has moved onshore. So Baldwin County, you are now in the clear. I'll go ahead and give you a look at that. You can see no longer looking at that red box. Right now, what's left of it is over Foley. I'm using the Eglin Air. I'm using a different radar here. I'll switch back over to Mobile, but still you can see it is not looking nearly as impressive. It has fizzled back over land. So no longer looking at a tornado warning for southern Baldwin County, but that is still in place right now for portions of Okaloosa County. And I'm going to send it on back over to Alan.
Yeah, so very quickly, this is a changing situation. The strongest thunderstorm over Eglin Air Force Base. Just north of that, over the community of Crestview, this is our sole tornado warning for the NBC 15 area. The threat, straight line wind, maybe some large hail, and we can check the hail, see what the computer is projecting or assessing in terms of hail. But that's a situation right now where this is good, no hail, but we do have lightning, which tells you it's still a thunderstorm, obviously a thunderstorm. Tornado warning, central Okaloosa County, covering communities like Crestview. This is crossing right along, or moving right along Interstate 10, Highway 90. And that means within a few minutes, it will be out of Okaloosa County. Once it moves out, that's sort of the border of our NBC 15 area. We'll go to a wider view, and then I'll take instruction from my producer. We may go back to Jamie with more news. Just to give you an assessment, right now, southern Escambia County, ordinary thunderstorms. Not that that's good, but they're ordinary. Same thing as you move into southern Santa Rosa County. They are a bit stronger as you move just to the southeast of Milton, also to the on the western edge of Eglin Air Force Base. Strong thunderstorms there, and then the heaviest thunderstorm right over Eglin Air Force Base. The severe thunderstorm warning that covers that, this goes until 1 o'clock. The one north of that will also continue at least for the next half hour. That one goes until 12:45. So those are the two locations right now. Those are our only warnings. The actual watches, they're being canceled to the west. So if we have not talked about your community, your county, it means you're in an okay spot. All the focus is right here in what's happening in the Florida Panhandle. So we'll go in closer. We'll start with the tornado warning, then we'll work our way southward to the Eglin Air Force Base area. Tornado warning centered on Crestview. No signs of strong rotation here. But if you're in Campton, Auburn, Crestview, Gallagher, and Baker, just stay in your safe spot for about the next 10 to 15 minutes. We're going to keep watching this, but for the moment, we're going to go back to Jamie, and then we'll come back with more on your weather.
All right, Alan, we are going to go to break right now, and then we'll be right back.
Well, it's been an active morning of severe weather. Along with Kyle Hansen and Kelly Foster, I'm Chief Meteorologist Alan Seals. And what we're watching is still a threat of severe weather well to the east and southeast of Interstate 65. We still have a couple of tornado warnings in the NBC 15 area. They're both in Okaloosa County, and minute by minute, considering these thunderstorms are moving at 40 to 50 miles an hour, the warnings are constantly being adjusted to try to keep up with them. So if you're in Crestview right now, you're on the northern edge of a tornado warning, and you'll notice the tornado warnings extend farther southward along Highway 85 into Eglin Air Force Base. So James Lee Boulevard, Highway 90, down toward John King Road, you've got the very heavy rain. The main threat, if there's a tornado, would be somewhere along Interstate 10 heading toward Deerland once you get out of Okaloosa County. Take shelter, stay in your shelter. It's just going to be a few minutes. Again, these are moving at 50 miles an hour, so you want to make sure you have as many walls between you and the outside as possible to watch out for that threat of damaging wind. As you move southward into Okaloosa County, here's Eglin Air Force Base. It's most of what you see in the picture, which is unnamed roads. And then as you, from Deerland southward, no substantial heavy rain, but this signature here shows that that thunderstorm may suddenly push forward, producing winds of 50 to 60 miles an hour. And just stop and think of this 1 minute. It's moving at 50 miles an hour. That means all it needs to do is make a 30-mile-an-hour wind gust. You add it to 50, and you get 80 miles an hour. So this is the threat from these severe thunderstorms. As they move forward fast, they can push wind ahead of it and create some wind damage on your property. Valparaiso's on the right side of your screen, Harper's on the left side, so most of the rain that's falling in the Panhandle is over Eglin Air Force Base. Westward of that, scattered thunderstorms. Not severe thunderstorms, but still scattered thunderstorms from Gulf Breeze northward to Florida Town, back down around Pensacola, nothing too far out of the ordinary here. And then as you move into Baldwin County, we've got 3 thunderstorms that are not severe thunderstorms, but they could produce a funnel cloud. They could produce a brief, isolated tornado. Already we had video earlier today of a water spout on Mobile Bay. We know we had some wind damage in George County, Mississippi. And if you're in Gulf Shores, Orange Beach, looking offshore from high-rise buildings, which those condos are pretty strong, if you see a water spout coming toward you, you've got to do what you're told to do. Interior portion of your unit away from the windows. So there's the view looking toward the southwest from Gulf Shores. Of course, that strong south wind, everybody noticed it. Here's what we deal with. Going from about 12:30 this afternoon to 1:30, 2 o'clock. Very quickly, what we're talking about will be done because it's moving at 40 to 50 miles an hour. So just another hour or so in the Florida Panhandle, along I-10, south of I-10, where you do have to watch out for that threat. And then once we're into the middle of the afternoon, things are going to be much quieter. In fact, coincidentally, in your 7-day tracker, at 3:30 this afternoon, I'm doing a Facebook Live for the kids. It's a weather lesson on thunderstorms. And of course, we'll be talking about severe thunderstorms. So that's our weather update for now. As it changes, we'll be back with more. Jamie?
All right. Thank you so much, Alan. We will be right back after this break.
In a world changed by coronavirus,